Okay. Good morning, everyone. I sorry. I can't. I can't. I saw something really funny, but I can't share it with you guys yet. All right. Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, Friday, Friday. I hope you guys are all having a great Friday so far. We have many a thing to get to. Gay Frog Friday, that's true. That's true. I hope when InfoWars gets taken over by The Onion, they just have like the gay frogs thing on repeat every single day. That would make me so happy. That would make me levels of happiness never before seen. So we have a lot of things to get to. First and foremost, I wanted to talk about the Mr. Beast stuff because I wanted to catch up on it and I'm not up to date and I need to be up to date to keep my Mr. Beast hatred well and alive, healthy. So I want to do that. Then I wanted to talk about, first of all, Trump and RFK both saying $100 to $600 is a 600% increase. And then doubling down on that, because that's where we're at. Because Hassan versus Hannity is happening. Oh, but that's not happening until like later, no? So math is not their strong suit. Math has a liberal bias. Camera looking huge today. Yeah, enough to make people hate me. And then new math. True. The $1 million Trump card, because everything is gambling. Then Trump saying literally everything is gambling. Good. And then maybe perhaps. Gaming today? Let him stop shaming men for having small cameras. Their cameras are so small and it bothers me. Everything is computer, everything is transgender, and now everything is casino. How do MAGA chuds still have money to give after all the times they've been scammed? They're like, this is the final scam. This one's not a scam. So yeah, I want to talk about that. And Trump just has a different way of calculating. There's two ways of calculating percentages. If you have a $600 drug and you reduce it to $10, that's a 600% reduction. Like, no, it's not. What? Oh my God. So yeah, I want to get to that. So let's Oh, and then there was one other thing that I wanted to talk about today, but I'm sure it'll come back to me. Anyways, I cleaned the dust off of my computer. So hopefully my computer is unfreezing in the middle of stream randomly. It's been pissing me off. All right. Begin. Yes. Remove the gamer goo. I mean, it's just dust. What do you mean goo? All right. And that shit must have been dusty. It's been a while since I cleaned it. Actually, dusty. Actually was pretty dusty. Let me close this. Yes, I think it was this one. This one from yesterday. All right, let's go. Lock in.
Well, thank you very much. And I'm told this is a rather historic meeting because these countries have been bordering each other for many, many years. And It doesn't happen much, although they like each other. I found that out today, and I've sort of heard about that. They actually like each other, Lebanon and Israel. And we had a great meeting with the very high officials of Lebanon and very high officials of Israel, and we think that the president of Lebanon and the prime minister of Israel over the next couple of weeks will be coming here. They've agreed to an additional 3 weeks of, no firing, ceasefire, no more firing. Let's see. We hope that happens. Not gonna
No more firing. Meanwhile, how many ships have gotten hit? No more firing. That's it. We've gotten a ceasefire where we no more fire. We no more firing. Except Israel. Israel can fire. Israel can fire. You cease, we will fire.
happen between that, but they do have Hezbollah to think about. And we're going to be working with Lebanon to get things straightened out in that country. I really believe it's something we can do pretty easily, just with the power of who we are. They're great people, the Lebanese people. We have our ambassador here who has done a fantastic job. Ambassador to Lebanon from the United States. And we had a great conversation, and I think
For just a brief second, I thought he was going to say, just through the power of friendship.
who has done a fantastic job. Ambassador to Lebanon from the United States. And we had a great conversation, and I think it's the beginning of something very important. It'd be a wonderful thing to get this worked out simultaneously with what we're doing in Iran. And I'd like to start by just asking JD, our Vice President, our great Vice President, to say a few words, and then Marco will speak, and then the representatives from the country. Mike Huckabee, you'll say a few words, Mike. You've done a great job.
This is not real. This has not happened. Stop. Bro did not fall asleep in the middle of... No. Stop. That's Photoshop.
By the way, I
Stop.
appreciate it. Everybody does. And JD, please.
Yes, sir. Well, first of all, congratulations. Congratulations to you and our Secretary of State, but most importantly, congratulations to the people
From an AI video? Okay.
of Israel and Lebanon. I think it's a major historic moment. We're going to extend the ceasefire for 3 weeks that's already in place between Israel and Lebanon. Of course, it wouldn't have happened
That's already in place. The one that's being violated every second of every day. Okay, dude.
without the president's
I noticed Cash and Pete are strangely absent. The liquor cabinet doesn't drink itself, brother. All right?
direct engagement. The fact that you have these leaders of different countries coming together for the first time, they came together in the Oval Office, and they came together because of energetic diplomacy, of course, led by the President of the United States. So I think it's a big moment for the world. It's a big moment for our country, but just very proud to be a part of it. So thank you, sir, for making it happen.
Thank you very much, JD.
Thank you, Mr. President, for hosting this. Actually, the President wanted to be personally involved, and I'm glad he was, because it made it possible to get this extension, and it gives everybody time to continue to work on what's going to be a permanent peace between two countries that want to be at peace. Both are victimized by the same terrorist organization, a terrorist organization that no doubt has victimized Israel, but has also victimized the people of Lebanon. The people of Lebanon deserve to live in a country that's peaceful and prosperous. They have an opportunity to do that. They have a history of that. And what's standing in the way is an organization that operates, a terrorist organization that operates within their national territory that threat needs to be eliminated. And so thank you, Mr. President, for this gathering today and for convening it and being a key part of it. And it buys us time to continue to work. I'm very optimistic that in a few weeks we'll be even closer to the kind of permanent peace that the people of Israel and Lebanon deserve.
Thank you very much. Michelle, please.
Well, I would like to thank the President, the Vice President, and Secretary to make this historical meeting today that bring two countries that they've never been next to each other more than today in a way. This is
What the fuck is happening?
60, 70 years in the making, and today is really the historical day. Thank you, Mr. President, Vice President, Secretary, and I'm going to keep going, working for a peace that hopefully we'll get it as soon as possible.
Thank you. You're a very successful man. And when I asked him if he'd like to be ambassador to Lebanon, I said, could be a dangerous job. He said, well, I'm Lebanese. I was born in Lebanon, and your parents have a whole big history. He said, danger doesn't matter to me, really. It's something I want to do. He's very successful. He didn't need this. And I think it's probably more dangerous than you even thought, but you've done a fantastic job. So
It is an honor for me to serve you, Mr. President, and then I'm going to go till the end.
Thank
You know, I didn't know. I really did. Every single day, I am shocked by the number of violations that I see on YouTube. It is crazy that you can just perform a full-blown blowjob till completion, and YouTube won't take this down.
you. Thank you very much. And likewise, Mike Huckabee. We all know Mike, and he didn't need it either, did he? But he's doing a fantastic job. Mike, go ahead, please.
I just want to say, Mr. President, what an amazing opportunity to be here at a moment of history. The people of Lebanon, the people of Israel are neighbors.
Nancy Reagan is rolling in her grave.
And they want to get along. They can get along. But it's like neighbors who have a rough little kid living in the neighborhood who keeps throwing rocks at everybody's window. And if the kid will quit throwing rocks, the neighbors can get along.
If the kids would stop throwing rocks, we would stop bombing the shit and double tapping and triple tapping and quad tapping their entire family and their houses and their schools. But, you know, so we build a couple settlements. We take a couple houses and they think they can, these kids think they can throw rocks at tanks? What the fuck? No, you can't do that. Now we have to kill your whole family. Congrats.
And start actually working together. The president has initiated something that is truly bringing the neighborhood back to a neighborhood and recognizing that the problem is not Lebanon and the problem is not Israel. The problem is Hezbollah, the bad little kid throwing rocks. That's what the president is getting launched today, to get that little kid out of the neighborhood.
And what, to Epstein Island?
Thank you. Mr. Ambassador, please.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, for your hospitality, for bringing Israel and Lebanon together here in the Oval Office. Israel wants peace with Lebanon, and Israel wants security for its citizens. We're united with the Lebanese government in wanting to rid the country of this malign influence called Hezbollah. And now that, Mr. President, under your leadership, Iran has been so degraded, the possibility of degrading Hezbollah and liberating Lebanon from their occupation is
Why
real.
does he say it like that? Hezbollah. Allah.
So we hope that together under your leadership, we can formalize peace between Israel and Lebanon in the very near future. And we are just very thankful for the opportunity.
Well, thank you, and I look forward to having the next meeting with your great Prime Minister. He is. He's a wartime Prime Minister with Bibi, and with the President of Lebanon. It will be fantastic. I think lots going to happen. Madam Ambassador.
Of course. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, President Trump. Thank you for your leadership, for making sure to be presiding over this historic moment. I want to really say thank you to the United States under your leadership for all your effort to help and to support Lebanon. And I think with your help, with your support, we can make Lebanon great again. Thank you so much.
So thank you. I like that phrase.
Sounds nice, huh?
It's a good phrase.
MNGA.
Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
think we will. Any questions? Yeah, please.
President Trump, Anthony Mershak from MTV Lebanon.
Yes.
First, thank you for having us in the White House
Thank
for
you very
a
much.
year and a half.
Appreciate it. It's an honor.
This is historical for our audience as
It
well.
is.
We would like to ask you three questions. First question, the peace between Lebanon and Israel. Do you think it will happen this year?
I think it has a great chance. I mean, you know, they're friends about the same things and they're enemies on the same things, and it has to do with, I guess you could say, a couple of countries, but certainly it's, if you look at Hezbollah, that's where everybody seems to be united against them. So they are both very united in that way. You know, I think there's a very good chance of having peace. I think it should be an easy one. Relative to some of the things we're working on, it should be an easy one. But it's been so many
Dennis,
years.
I think your audio is messed up. All I hear is gawk, gawk, gawk. I don't understand the world that that conservatives live in, where you have to elect someone and they have to be your God, Emperor, King. It's like a fundamentally very confusing position. Maybe this is the New Yorker in me. Maybe this is the anti-surf brain in me. I don't care who the candidate is. I don't care who is sitting in the seat, who is holding the power. It's so uncomfortable to watch a press conference where the president or anyone sitting in front of a bunch of people that are standing behind him, and they're all like, thank you, Lord Emperor King. Thank you, our supreme leader. Thank you so much. And being like, I don't know how you could watch that and think anything other than, what the fuck am I seeing? Hello? Huh? Huh?
Because nobody focused on it. But Lebanon was a great country. It was a beautiful country. Smart people, very brilliant people, doctors, professors, economists, some of the smartest people on the planet. But it got torn apart by different factions and nothing having to do with them, outside factors. So I think it can be brought back pretty quickly.
And when do you think our president will meet Netanyahu here at the White House?
I think we'll do it during this period of time, during the 3-week period, ideally. I'd like to suggest over the 3-week ceasefire. Right? If you can do that, we're here. We're doing it in the Oval Office.
And regarding Hezbollah, he's not responding to our government. He's doing whatever he wants. What do you say for Hezbollah? And
Israel has to, we're just talking about it. Israel is going to have to defend itself if they're shot at, and they will. I would never say that they can't. It would be nice if they wouldn't have to bother with that, but if something happens, they're going to have to defend themselves, as you know.
I love that whenever Israel is attacked, they have to defend themselves, and when any other country in the Middle East is attacked, how dare they retaliate back at us? This is a true terrorist government that would dare strike back at the one democracy in the Middle East.
But they're going to do it carefully, and they're going to be surgical as opposed to beyond.
Ah, yes, like when they carefully and surgically leveled Gaza. Okay.
Surgical, and there's a lot they can do, but Israel is going to have to defend itself.
And regarding our Lebanese speaker, Nabil Berri reportedly told Prince Yazid bin Farhan that Lebanon will not move forward with peace unless Saudi Arabia is involved. What is your reaction to that statement, and do you believe Saudi Arabia must play a central role in a potential Lebanon-Israel peace process?
Well, Saudi Arabia is great, and they have a great leader. And I think that they'd be very happy with this. I haven't spoken to them, I will. This happened very quickly. But Saudi Arabia is going to be, they're great people, a great place, incredible place. I know it very well. But I know the leader very well, and he'd want to see something like this happen. He's a tremendous guy.
Yeah? Sir. And make Lebanon great again. This is our slogan on MTV Lebanon. Make America great again, and make Lebanon great again.
The Admiral pants. Every interview with Trump surrounded by his yes men feels like this. I'm not going to press play on it because I hate this scene. But yes, it feels exactly like this.
It's our slogan on MTV Lebanon that all the Lebanese and our audience are putting hope on you, Mr. President.
Make Lebanon great.
Make Lebanon great again.
It's a good slogan. It works for here. I think it's maybe the greatest political slogan in the history of the world, make America great again. But, we're great now, so I will never say that we won't use that slogan, MAGA. But we have another one, America is back. Where's that at? Does anybody have it? No, yeah, that's the old one. And then
that sounds like that's a terrible slogan.
The new one.
Maybe like America's big back.
And we're never changing MAGA. I don't have the courage to change MAGA. Make America great again. But we're great now. We're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're the most powerful country in the world by far. And we suffered years of abuse by people that were grossly incompetent, like Biden, like Obama. Obama was incompetent. He was a great divider. And we're a great country again. We're respected all over the world. That's why this happened so fast. I mean, it can happen fast. Thank you.
Sir, the funding that Hezbollah gets from Iran, is Iran going to have to cut that off to do a deal with you?
Yeah, they'll have to cut that
That's
off.
A must for you.
Yeah, sure. That's a must, yeah.
Mr. President, apparently there was a special forces soldier who was involved in the capture of Venezuelan President Maduro, who was arrested by federal authorities today on suspicion of insider trading and betting on Polymarket. Are you concerned that federal employees are betting on these prediction markets and potentially getting rich?
Well, I don't know about it, but was he betting that they would get him or they wouldn't get him?
It sounds like he was betting on his removal from office, that Maduro would be removed. It sounds like he was involved in the operation.
That's like Pete Rose betting on his own team. It's a little like Pete Rose. Pete Rose, they kept him out of the Hall of Fame because he bet on his own team. Now, if he bet against his team, that would be no good, but he bet on his own team. I'll look into it, yeah.
There are also banks that are
Oh, okay, we'll look into it. We'll look into insider trading, you say. Don't worry. I'll investigate and then find that we committed no wrongdoing. Okay, dude.
being placed as well on the Iran conflict too, and there have been some trackings where people suspect that there's insider trading happening on these prediction markets around the war. Are you concerned about that?
The whole world, unfortunately, has become somewhat of a casino. And you look at what's going on all over the world, in Europe and every place they're doing these betting things. I was never much in favor of it. I don't like it conceptually, but it is what it is. No, I think that I'm not happy with any of that stuff, but they have all these different sites. They have predictive markets. It's a crazy world. It's a much different world than it was. Please.
We talked about the Fed's renovation.
Didn't you bankrupt a bunch of casinos? It's a much different world, talking about the fact that you can bet on literally anything, and we're refusing to put in literally any regulations. Any regulations. Successful bankruptcies, Denims, the most successful bankruptcies. Oh, right, sorry. You're so right. You're so right. When you bankrupt a casino, as long as you do it successfully, you win. It is banned in most European countries, by the way. France's regulator, ANG, declared it illegal gambling, blocked access. Belgium officially banned. Portugal, national ISP ban, blocking. I mean, again, it's like, it's insane. It's insane that we would encourage gambling. That's it. The only way to get rich in this country anymore is just to fucking gamble. But then again, he literally crypto rug pulled his own audience. So like, I forgot I was going to say something else. And I'm going to say something bold and brave. Okay. By far, one of the best things that they got, I think it was in, I don't remember if it was in the EU or if it was just in some European countries, loot boxes that have to tell you what the percentage is of getting a certain item. Because I'm not against the idea of loot boxes. I get it. It's kind of fun. But I'm sorry, the fact that it was ever the case and that it still is the case that you can buy a loot box and not know what the percentage is of getting the rarest item is so bullshit. It's like actually so bullshit. Now every game includes the odds out of caution, as it should be. The game should tell you, by the way, the percent chance of getting the legendary drop is like 0.00001. You would need to get probably at least like 1,000 of these to get the item you wanted. Even scratch-off tickets tell you the odds to earn a cash prize, as it should be. As it should be. Makes me laugh when he says America's the most respected country in the world. Haha.
Can someone other than the Justice Department find out the things you said you wanted to learn?
Well, good. I mean, look, it's pretty easy. When you look with Jerome Too Late Pell, I have a real problem because he should have been lowering interest rates a long time ago. And despite that...
Wait, sorry. I was visiting my aunt the other day and she told me that with the one time she went to an event at a Trump place that had lapsed its liquor license. So she asked someone working at the hotel if she could bring her own beer. And they brought it to a back room and gave it to her like a wad of $1,000 and told her to come back with booze. They could sell it illicitly. Yes, 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 Trump. Yes, that is how you should run your businesses.
We fought through it, and we have the greatest economy we've ever had. You take a look, I mean, I don't know what the market is today, but we've broken every record over the last few days, and this is doing...
Wait, sorry, this U.S. Special Forces soldier who won $409,000 charged for betting on Maduro's removal before raid was reported. U.S. Special Forces soldier involved in the military operation that captured Maduro was arrested on Thursday after allegedly betting on Maduro's removal from office. Federal investigators believe U.S. Army Master Sergeant Gannon Ken Van Dyke made bets of more than $33,000 on the prediction poly market within hours of Trump's announcement in January that Maduro had been captured. The source said the bets hit and resulted in winning more than $409,000. Prediction markets are not a haven for using misappropriated confidential or classified information for personal gains, U.S. Attorney in the Southern District of New York, Jake Clayton said. The defendant allegedly violated the trust placed in him by the U.S. government by using classified information about a sensitive military operation. Okay, so what are people supposed to think they're supposed to do when Trump does this every day, every minute of every day, bro?
Evil.
Sorry, wrong. Evil.
A military operation or war, whatever you want to call it, it makes no difference as far as I'm concerned. But we have this unbelievable economy. The S&P has a new record. The Dow is right at a new record. We already broke the record.
The Dow.
With the Dow. People said it wouldn't happen in 4 years. They said in 4 years it won't be able to be possible to break 50,000. We broke it.
Ooh, who said that? I'm going to be honest. I feel like I keep pretty close eye on politics. And I don't think I heard a single person say the Dow will never hit 50,000. The Dow will never hit 50,000. Cereal spitting meme. I can't believe the Dow hit 50,000. Who did that?
With the Dow. And I'm actually a little bit surprised that we're breaking it constantly, even now, during this conflict. Because when we broke it, I called a lot of the people here. I called JD, I called Marco, I called Howard, I called Scott. I said, I hate to tell you fellas, but we have to do a little bit of a detour. We have to go to Iran and make sure they don't have a nuclear weapon. We had just broken every financial record. And the amazing thing is we continue to break them even during the war. Now, fuel went up, but I thought it would have gone up much more. And a lot of ships are coming to the United States, and they're...
What is this? Hassan on Fox in my parents' living room right now? No way. We're like, sorry, what is this? Polymarket Twitter account says new AI startup unveils anti-Grammarly tool that adds typos and grammatical errors to emails to make them seem human written. Huh? What? 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 Who asked for this? Oh, if only human beings could write emails. If only we could do that. If only human beings were ever capable of writing an email. Too bad we need to get an AI to make the email, and then we need to use a different AI to make the email sound worse. Okay, thank goodness for this. Ew.
Is what it is.
Not bad. Sorry, let me close this tab.
Using the United States instead of the Hormuz Strait. Amazing things are happening. Our country is amazing. You know, we don't have an oil shortage. We drill, baby, drill. We are right now producing more oil than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Did you know that? More, and in about a year from now, we'll be doing double the level. And Venezuela has been fantastic. We have a great relationship with that country and with the people that are running the country. And we're taking in millions of barrels of oil, millions and millions from Venezuela. It's been a great experience, to be honest with you, and they're doing a very good job, and they have our backing, okay?
Mr. President, you said that
Can you
the-
just clarify again what exactly?
Here we go, listen to this.
No, just because the world is watching.
Yes, just clarify. Here we go, here's his bomb.
What have the two sides agreed to here? A 3-week ceasefire with the hope that the leaders come and meet?
Yeah, 3 weeks. And the leaders will most likely be coming here during that time. And I think when they do, that's a very historic meeting. They haven't met for many, many years, as I understand it. They've never met. Think of that. They're next to each other. They're great people, and they've never met. This should be an easy one, okay? Good question.
Thank you for clarifying.
Thank you.
Just wanted to clarify.
The Lebanese law, we can't communicate with Israel. What we can do about this law, like if we talk with Israel, it will be a crime for us as Lebanese. And this is a question on behalf of
How is it a crime?
And the Lebanese law, it's a crime. They put you in
Well, I
jail.
think we have to end that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's something we're gonna have to end. I've never heard of that. But that's a good start. It's a crime to talk with Israel. Well, I'm pretty sure that that'll be ended very quickly, okay? I'll make sure of that. And I know Lebanon doesn't want that. We'll end up, will you work on that, please, everybody? That's crazy.
The ship,
Mr. President.
the ship that was captured on Monday, you said there was a gift for the Iranians in it. What was that in that ship? The one from China?
Yeah, well, we have, that's very top secret. Yeah, there was some in there, but it's top secret.
Have you talked to President Xi about it? Have you talked to
That's
Xi
one of
about
those
it?
little questions where, oh, this is not good. No, it's, we have a lot of things that we got.
Denims, I genuinely want to see an American history book 20 years from now, provided, of course, the U.S. can still afford paper. I think I'd much rather see a history book from 20 years from now from another country's POV, because I don't know that the U.S. will have the ability to write textbooks anymore.
You know, that the strait, what we've done with the blockade is amazing, and nobody gets through, and nobody wants to get through. Nobody's trying. The one tried, they shut out the engine, but nobody's trying. We have complete control. Now they can drop their mines in there and do all those stupid things. It's just going to take longer for them to make money because the mines are going to affect them much more than they're going to affect us. But and we don't know that they're doing that, but they could be that they're. If they're doing it, it's a very foolish thing to do. Just like for Iran to shoot at Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Qatar, and Kuwait, Bahrain, all the different places they shot. Nobody expected that. They thought they'd shoot at Israel, in all fairness, but you didn't expect they'd be shooting at numerous other countries. I think it was a big mistake. If they're putting mines down, it's a big mistake for them, I will say.
Are you angry at China for what they sent Iran?
No.
So there's some reporting today that
I guess we do the same thing, don't we? With other countries. You know, it's like one of those things, but nothing that it wasn't earth-shaking. Yeah.
there's some reporting today, sir, that you tend to invite.
Trump knows he can't say anything about China. There's nothing Trump can say about China that he hasn't already said about China. And realistically, it just makes him come off like a whining little loser to be like, how could China disrespect us? And he doesn't want to tariff them again. That didn't help him. That didn't help anyone.
Vladimir Putin to the G20 in Miami. Is that the case?
No, but if he came, it would be probably very helpful. You know,
I want them to ask him if he's seen the Lego videos. I know, right? God, get me in that room, man.
I've said a long time ago, when they made the G8, the G7, they threw Russia out before my time. That was Obama and a certain prime minister from a place called Canada, Trudeau. And I said, that's a stupid thing to do. And I was right. You know, I'd go to these meetings of the G7, and about 90% of the meeting was talking about Russia and what's going on with Russia. And I said, why'd you throw them out? You know, if they didn't throw them out, they would have been much better off, in my opinion. You know, it should have been the G8. But when they threw out President Putin, he was very offended by that. He was, rightfully, but he was very offended by that. I venture to say you probably wouldn't be having these problems if you didn't throw them out.
So he's not coming to the G20, as far as you're
Not that I
concerned?
know of, but
Because there are senior administration officials being quoted in news reports.
I'm going to be honest, saying rightfully is kind of crazy there.
This afternoon
But okay,
that says
sure.
the Russians are being invited to at least ministerial meetings.
You're saying being invited as opposed to coming. I don't know of the invitation, but if he were invited, I don't know.
Would you like him to
Hey,
come? You're
I'm
the
of
head
the
of the
opinion that you talk to everybody. I'm not one of these guys saying, oh, let's not talk to him. You know, there's a war going on. Let's not talk to him. I like talking to everybody. If you're a smart person, if you have control over your emotions and all the other things you need control of, I'm somebody that believes in talking. I don't know of that. I don't know that he's coming. I doubt he'd come, to be honest with you. I sort of doubt he'd come. But we're working on trying to get that one solved. That would be number 9. I've ended 8 wars, and that one is, but they continue to fight. The hatred between him and President Zelensky is extraordinary, I can tell you.
Can I ask you a FIFA question, sir? What do you think of this idea of replacing Iran with Italy in the World Cup?
I don't think about it too much.
Okay.
That's an interesting question. Let me give it, you know what? Let me give it that a little.
You know, I personally didn't know that the president of the United States could single-handedly decide whether or not Iran could be replaced by Italy in the World Cup. I didn't know about that. My bad. I didn't know that the U.S. president has the final say on that one. What the fuck type of stupid-ass question? Is there a single real reporter in this room?
That's a very, is that what they're doing? They're thinking about replacing him?
Apparently it's a proposal. Let Marco make his poly.
Marco, can you make a statement on that, please? What do you think of?
Yeah, there's nothing from the U.S. has told them they can't come. I mean, the problem with Iran, it would be not their athletes. It would be some of the other people that we want to bring with them, some of whom have ties to the IRGC. We may not be able to let them in, but not the athletes themselves. But no one's, I don't know where that's coming from, other than speculation that Iran may decide not to come and then Italy would fill their spot. But if they decide not to come on their own, it's because they decided not to come. What they can't bring is a bunch of IRGC terrorists into our country and pretend that they're, journalists and athletic trainers.
Sir, is the government going to
We would not want to affect the athletes.
Is the government going to buy a stake in Spirit Airlines?
So Spirit is an airline that's had some trouble. They were going to merge with People Express, or one of them, a number of years ago, and Barack Hussein Obama decided it was a bad idea. How did that work out? It's bad for both of them. That would have been a natural merger. Not United and American, but Spirit and the other. We're looking at helping them. We have 18,000 people that live in this country that are great people and great employees, and we're thinking about doing it, helping them out, meaning bailing them out or buying it. I think we just buy it. We'd be getting it virtually debt-free. They have some good aircraft, they have good assets, and when the price of oil goes down, we'll sell it for a profit. I'd love to be able to save those jobs. I'd love to be able to save an airline. I like having a lot of airlines, so it's competitive. So we are looking at Spirit. It's in bankruptcy. It's in bankruptcy court, and we're looking if we could get it for the right price.
Yeah, Spirit and like every other fucking airline, bro.
I do it to save the jobs, and we have somebody that wants to run it, do a good job, smart person. And if they run it properly, and if prices come down, all of a sudden it's a valuable asset.
Okay, so when New York wants to have grocery stores owned by the state and run like businesses, like USPS, that's a massive misplay. But when the U.S. decides to personally get involved in the financial dealings of corporations, that's okay? All right, man. The guy who is famous for bankrupting all of his companies. Okay. Yeah.
And they have some very good slots too, which are pretty valuable.
You will visit Lebanon and visit Ambassador Isa to the embassy because we're building a huge U.S. embassy in Lebanon. Are you going to plan to launch it for opening or attending for the opening?
You want to answer that?
Well, we're working on it. It's not done yet, but once it's done, I will ask the president to come and cut the ribbon.
Would love to
And we got
I have no objection to that. Go ahead.
In the UK today, they've just announced a total of $1.3 billion in returns from digital service tax, which you in the past have called an unfair tax on American companies. You know it very well. You previously called for investigations, but so far as we can tell, there has been none. Would you call for that?
So what tax is this?
A digital service tax is the kind of nicknamed it the tech tax or big tech tax that kind of.
They're going to put a tax on basically American companies.
It's already there, sir.
Did you say the UK?
Yes, sir. They made $1.3 billion last year. So is that something you would kind of investigate, call for it to be scrapped, have a look at?
We don't like it when they target American companies, because basically you're talking about our great American companies, and whether we like those companies.
But when we tariff countries for no reason, that's okay. Dude, what the fuck? Sorry. Seize the means of transportation, Comrade Trump.
Companies that don't like them, they're American companies, and they're the top companies in the world. And we've been looking at it. UK did it, a couple of other people did it. They think they're going to make an easy buck. That's why they've all taken advantage of our country. They don't take advantage of it. No, we've been looking at it, and we can meet that very easily by just putting a big tariff on the UK, so they better be careful. If they don't drop the tax, we'll...
No, that's true. If you look at the history books, famously, it's every other country that's taking advantage of the United States and not the United States taking advantage of every other country. That's actually just true. On Spirit Airlines, there will be no TSA. On Spirit Airlines, you just get like manhandled by an ICE agent. One of them shoots you before your flight, and then the fucking plane crashes immediately.
Probably put a big tariff on the UK.
What can they expect? 5%, 10%, something similar to what you've done before?
More than what they're getting. They shouldn't be doing that. All that's doing is really targeting. It's targeting great companies, but they're our companies. It's like us targeting.
Bro didn't even know what it was 2 seconds ago. What are we doing? What? Soon to be American Spirit Airlines probably go back to allowing smoking on planes. They should like rebrand. They should get like a new little slogan. Spirit. What you'll be after you try to ride one of our planes.
Targeting their companies, which we could do very easily. But you don't have big companies like that. You don't have those great companies. Not fair. I have an obligation to protect our companies. That's how they became great. And they become great during my administration. My first 4 years, we had the best economy in history in my first 4 years. And this will blow it away. Look at it. During a war, we have the highest stock market. During a war, it's not a big war for us, but it's a war. And during a war, we have the highest stock market. I have to protect this country. So if they want to do the service tax, France did it also, and some others. And literally have a meeting after this having to do with that exact question. And what we'll do is we'll reciprocate by putting something on that's equal or greater than what they're doing. And they won't be happy about that. No, that's enough. You've asked so much.
Mr. President, I emailed the Virginia Department of Elections earlier today and asked them if they had seen any evidence of election tampering or fraudulent mail ballots being cast in the Tuesday election, or if there was any evidence of non-citizens voting in that election. Why did you say that that election was rigged?
Well, you have mail-in ballots, and they found a lot of them at the end of the day.
They said that they...
Didn't Trump literally say he used a mail-in ballot?
They've received no credible information related to those
questions. Well, I know you'd say that no matter what. You know, you've been saying that for years, and now they're finding out that the 2020 election was totally rigged. And when you look at what just, excuse me, how do you defend what just happened where your Southern law, whatever it is, has given money to KKK, they're supposed to protect people, and they're paying all these people, crooked as can be, millions of dollars going all to all these people that they're supposed to be protecting from, but they're actually supporting them because they want to have companies that they can protect and because they want to rig elections. That was all a rigged election. All of the things with Charlottesville, all of the stuff that they did, and you won't bring that up, but you'll bring up some nonsense. Let me tell you, the election we were winning all day long. It's a totally horrible situation. Hopefully the courts will overturn it, what they did in Virginia. You have a grossly incompetent governor. You had a very
Grossly incompetent. Meanwhile, governor did one of the best, most base things ever. Hamburger. One. Up. Wait. I'm sorry. I think the government should make your life better in small ways that you notice. Not to be a woke socialist commie, but I think that's what the government should do. I don't think companies that make money because they make their subscription service unbelievably difficult to cancel should be in business. I don't think so. I shouldn't have to fucking put in 5 service requests, show up to a fucking hearing, fax you a letter requesting the termination of my subscription, show up for 4 different meetings just so I can cancel a $10 subscription. A $10 subscription. Can I be honest with all of you for one moment? What do you mean companies still request faxes? Private companies. Private companies that existed and exist long after faxes were used. Like, if you are a company that was made in 2010, why the fuck are you demanding a fax? What do you mean I have to Google how to send fax in 2026? Why? If I can start a subscription with one click, I should end the subscription with one fucking click. I actually want it to be more difficult. It should be life binding, and the subscription should pass to the next of kin. You should have to sign the contract in blood. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I kind of understand state and city, like local governments still having outdated technology. That makes sense to me. Because if you've ever worked or spoken to someone who has worked or has done municipal work, everything is outdated. Everything is outdated. If you go local enough, they've got they still have a Xerox or whatever the fuck old people be talking about. Like, they have a fucking red room when they just want to send a photo of something. They're like, 1 second. Everything squeaks. You know what? That's valid. You guys actually still have a fax machine. Fair. You're a $1 billion company requesting that I fax you so I can cancel my fucking Planet Fitness membership. What the fuck are we doing here? Literally, what are we... Should I send you a fucking pigeon carrier stating my intention to cancel as well? I just want to know what we're... I just want to know what we're doing here. I just want to know what we're doing. My last job, we dreaded a government audit because we had contracts but still used Windows XP in some machines, Denims. Oh, yes. During COVID, I had to write a letter to my gym to cancel. As if we don't all have phones. As if I don't literally scan into the gym with my phone. The lady at the front desk has a computer. What are we doing? What are we doing? You know what? I'll give one other exception as well. I know that there are really small gyms where, the gym subscription is kind of expensive. And it's only a gym that has maybe 50 people or whatever. In which case, I kind of understand. You're gonna, maybe they don't actually have, headquarters or whatever, and it's just, a personal gym or whatever. Sure. But it should not be difficult when you have multiple locations across the US, man. It should operate like a Resident Evil building. You have to get 3 medallions and some chess piece to unsubscribe. Yeah. Oh my God. All right.
Good governor, did a good job. You know, all those companies that want to move into Virginia now, they want to move out and go to a different location. So that's my opinion. I believe it was a rigged election. Virginia's known for it. It was a rigged election. They had a lot of ballots, mail-in ballots. Anytime you have mail-in ballots, anytime you have mail-in ballots, you have cheating. Did you have something?
Yes, you said that the U.S. will work with Lebanon to protect itself from Hezbollah. What does that look like exactly?
What is that?
You said that the U.S. will work with Lebanon to protect itself from...
Well, we're just going to work with them. I mean, we have a good relationship with Lebanon. It's amazing that...
But is it...
You know, it's the amazing thing is they actually have sort of a good relationship with Israel, and they don't deal with each other, but now they're going to deal with each other. We're putting them together.
What's the material support that you intend to provide?
We're just going to help them. We're going to help them. They're great people. It can be a really good country again, maybe a great country again. And I think you have all the ingredients, so we're going to work together. And I think Israel's going to be terrific. But they do have a common problem. It's Hezbollah. Okay, a couple of more.
Some House Republicans are saying that they don't want to vote for a bill that just has the Homeland Security funding. Would you support them expanding that to include other tax and defense measures?
Well, I'd love to see one thing. You know what that is? Save America. I'd love to say the Save America Act, which is voter ID, which is proof of citizenship, which is, by the way, no mail-in voting, which is a fraud. Anytime you have mail-in voting, you're going to have a fraudulent election.
You literally mail-in vote. You literally mail-in vote. Oh. I'm not mad. Not mad. I'm not mad.
But I'd leave it for military, you know, mail-in voting for military.
I have to say, the best sign of like any intelligence is whether or not someone thinks that if someone tells you, well, we need IDs for voting, that is the guaranteed way to know that someone's a fucking moron. Because guess what you use when you register to vote? Your ID! You already use it when you registered. Having it on your person when you go to the poll doesn't do anything magical. They still have to cross your name off the list. Like, use your fucking brain. Oh my God. Like, I would love to know what these people think happens when you go to vote in person. You go to vote in person and they're like, why is this lady asking me all these questions? What's my name? What's my address and my phone number? Leave me alone, lady. I don't even know you. Let me go vote already. God. All right, let me see here. Worst option, worst option, worst option, worst option, worst option, worst option, worst option. Worst option, worst option, worst option, worst. All right, we're good to go. I can't believe they didn't ask for my ID. It's like, Denims, aren't you in woke California where they give you 2 votes if you say I love Brandon? Oh, that's true. That actually is true. No, yeah, you're right. But don't tell other people about that. If you tell them you're going to vote for the Democrats, they're like, okay, I'll count you down twice. You know what? For you, 3 times. They say like, go to the other station. I'll uncross your name off the list.
For people that are sick, for people that are traveling, like business.
And here's the thing, man. UK has voter ID laws, but the photo ID is free. Here's the thing. You know what, man? If conservatives really want to have you have a requirement so somebody has an ID when they go in to vote, even though you needed one when you registered to vote, you have to put so much information when you're registering to vote. Like, what the anyways, let's just say that they really want that world. Tell you guys what, all right? How about you make IDs free for starters? How about we make, normal IDs, not $35, and then we make, real IDs, not $85. Why don't we make them free? And then make the wait at the DMV not be 500 years when I have an appointment. I don't know the last time you guys went to a DMV. It's been a while for me, thank God. The last time I went to the DMV, I was like waiting in line, sat next to this other person. Well, standing. There were no more seats, as you might imagine. And this poor guy was there. He said he was there for 3 hours. I had been there for 1 hour and they were about to see me because I had an appointment. I was like, did you get an appointment? He's like, no. I was like, you need to make an appointment. You're still going to wait. I still wait minimum 1 hour. You got to make an appointment unless you want to be there all day. But it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. ID is free, driver's license isn't. Wrong. You're just wrong. IDs still cost money. What are you talking about? Maybe you have a particular city policy that makes them free. That's not in any city I've ever lived in. You have to pay for your ID. Oh, maybe in the UK they're saying that? I don't know. Maybe they're saying in the UK or something. I'm talking about in the States. In the United States, you have to pay. You have to pay for, trust me, I'm telling you guys as a New Yorker, where half the New Yorkers that live in New York don't have a driver's license. Most people have normal non-driver's license IDs. You still got to pay for that shit. Anyways, yeah, I'll tell you guys what, guys. Conservatives, you demand we have IDs, make DMV wait times less than an hour, give people paid time off at their jobs so they can go to the DMV to get their ID, and make the IDs free. And then sure. If you're insisting on putting this extra policy in place that serves literally no purpose, remove the things that we are against that make it so that having an ID is a fucking stupid idea to be able to go and vote in person. So it's so nonsense. Like, you still have to verify your identity when you register to vote. So absurd.
So whatever, different things, but disability, where they have a problem, but no mail-in ballots. We added a couple of things, no men playing in women's sports. It's unrelated, but it's a popular thing. And no transgender mutilization of our children. So that's it. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, President.
Oh, okay. Glad we ended on that. How about we make voting day a national holiday? Well, I mean, I'm just talking about getting the ID. The purpose of having voter ID laws is requiring an ID when you go to vote. The problem is that it just serves to make poor people's lives more difficult and to ensure poor people don't go out to vote. Do Americans not all need to get a state issued ID when you turn 14? No. No. Mutilization is definitely a word. I love when they transmutilization. I love when they do that. Yes. They mutilization to me. They did. Sorry, there was one who said. Sometimes you have to work on your Trump voice until you get this perfection.
Joe Brandon was unfreezing Iranian asses. That was money exchanging hands. When Trump is doing it, that's a different thing. That's a totally separate thing. You guys don't understand. No money is, no green pallets of cash. Just $20 billion. Much larger number, much bigger number than the Joe Brandon $6 billion. Much bigger than the Barack Hussein
He's adding something else in there that's making it not Trump, bro. What do you mean?
Obama's 1.7. After all, it's inflation. That's why it's understand. No money is no green pallets, no green pallets of cash. Just $20 billion.
He's making it British. Wait, what the fuck? Why is there some British in there?
$20 billion.
Or maybe some Irish in there or something. I don't know. That's not true. Bitch, step aside. Okay. Where's Austin show when you need him? Okay. His PBD accent last night was so funny. Okay, PBD, I kind of believe that accent would go crazy. I do. I wanted to see this one as well, unfortunately. What the fuck is this? Trump on MLK?
1.5 to 2 feet deep. You all know it well. That's where Martin Luther King gave his great speech, and he had 1 million people, and I had the same exact crowd, maybe a little bit more, but they said I had 25,000 people on July 4th. I have pictures of Martin Luther King's crowd, my crowd. It's the exact same everything, but it was 70 years difference. The exact same crowd, but I actually had more people, but that's okay. They gave him 1 million people. They said 1 million people. I had 25,000 people. So, but these are the things that you get with. We had on July 4th, a few years ago, first term. So you have this 1.5 to 2 feet.
This is where Martin Luther King gave his great speech. He had 1 million people, 1 million. And I had the same crowd, maybe a little bit more. I had 25,000 people. So maybe a little bit more than 1 million people. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe more. But it was great. It was a great speech. Why does he always have the gangbang squad behind him, dude? Oh, I'm just waiting for the day that like the simulation ends and they're like, dude, you were totally right. This was just, we were just seeing how far we could take it. All right. We were seeing how far we could take it before people noticed. You know, when you're on the freeway and you see, or like you're driving and you see like the same car drive in front of you twice, or God forbid 3 times, it's like, huh? What? What? Huh? Time to ignore that. There was this one. I want to just pull up the part where he's talking about freaks, dude. Where is it? Let me pull up the transcript. I hate seeing that stupid little, this stupid fucking AI star. Ask questions. No. 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 I don't want to ask your stupid AI a question. Fucking unbelievable, bro. All right. I wanted to pull this up. What I was finding, or trying to find.
Oh, yeah, he is so full of energy and love now, and he was such a serious baby.
So you see such a difference.
Yeah, he was such a serious baby.
And before that, it's very tough for...
Oh, for sure, he can't tell me what he wants, or what he wants to eat, or what he needs, and now he'll be able to do that.
Wow.
It's life-changing.
That's a great job they've done. I want to thank Regeneron and other companies for doing their part to bring down the cost of health care for all Americans under our most favored nation.
No, in Barack, we don't tolerate this kind of behavior. If you bring a baby to a bunch of pedophiles, you go straight to jail. Straight to jail.
Agreement. We've secured gigantic discounts with price differences from 4 to 5 and even 600%. 600%. One of the most popular weight loss drugs has gone from $1,350 a month to as low as $199 a month. So that's a price that's incredible. So it used to sell in London for $87, and they raised it to $199, which is a big raise if you know, from $87 to $199. But that's been going on. Our country's been being ripped off for 30 years. How long would you say, Doug? Like 30, 40 years. For years. with drugs and drug prices. So they're going up, we're going way down. And because the world is a bigger place than we are, believe it or not, it's hard to believe that, but they are, that we go down much more than they go up. So they don't go up as much as people would have thought. So they're going.
We go down much more. We go down all the time.
From, they're going to 199 and we're going down all the way down. Think of that. We're going down from $1,350 a month to $199. That's, nobody would believe it. And this is true with all. I mean, this is the weight loss drug. But this is true with all drugs. Sometimes even more of a difference than that, sometimes a little bit less, but sometimes substantially more than even that difference, and you see what that is. So we cut the per cycle cost of IVF drugs by thousands of dollars, and we reduced the price of the
same IVF, by the way, that conservatives want to ban in red states, by the way.
Major COPD medication from $458 to $50. What? That must be a typo. Is that a typo? From $458 to $50. If your boy was here, he'd go, wow. He laughed, he got bored. I think he got bored. He wants to go into bigger and better things, but there's nothing bigger or better than this. They'll all be available right now at Trump.
Interesting. Trump's still thinking about the child. Okay. Writing that down. Taking that note. Okay. Let's just keep going, actually. Next part.
RX.gov, so it's, that's why it's doing well. It's not doing well for other reasons. It's doing well. Think of that. That's some discount. But we have others, and these are all top companies and top medications. And I think in the end, we're going to have every company involved. We're almost there right now, but we're going to have every company involved. Trump RX has already received more than 15 million visitors, and every American should log on to check for massive discounts before they go to the pharmacy. It's setting a record. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. I've actually had many companies, I shouldn't tell you this, Bobby, but there have been many companies say, so we'd like to buy from you if you could. What? TrumpRx.com. I said, it's not for sale. It's not me. It's the government. The government owns it. I don't own it. But they're all impressive.
So just really quick question here. How do conservatives square this away with the government can't do anything? To be clear, Trump RX is a massive scam, and they're charging prices that are absurd that you can get in cities and states for way fucking cheaper. They're taking drugs that you can get for $10 at like fucking Walmart or Costco, and they're charging $100 for them. But just really quickly, how do conservatives in their brain figure that out? Like, how do they square that away that like the government can't do anything except Trump when he uses the government to do things? Also, it's just Good RX with trackers. A pharmacist has already confirmed it's just Good RX to me. Oh, okay. That's good. It's actually patriotic to pay more. Oh, that's actually true. I read that somewhere.
Pharmaceutical companies, they said they've never seen anything like this.
Just got on. Why are they solely focusing on fertility and weight loss drugs?
So it's fantastic. Now, I'd like to ask Secretary Kennedy to say a
Can I not answer that question?
A few words, and then we'll have Dr. Oz, the team at Regeneron, and Sierra. And Sierra, I'm so happy for you. And Chris Klump has been unbelievable, a real star. You don't know his name as much as some of the others, but he's a real star of the group. So, Bobby, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I was reminded when the President was speaking of a conversation that I had yesterday with one of the Democratic senators who was questioning me during a hearing, and she was ridiculing President Trump for his math, and she was saying it's mathematically impossible to have a drug drop by 600% cost, which he had claimed. And I said, well, if the drug was $100 and it raised the price to $600, that would be a 600% rise. If it drops from 600 to 100, that's a 600% savings. And the president used that math.
That's not even correct. It's not even correct. That's not even, RFK just doubled down on Trump's fake math. He claims that if a drug drops from $600 to $100, that's a 600% savings. No, you imbecile. If a drug drops from $600 to $100, that's a drop of 83%, not 600%. My 9-year-old son in 3rd grade understands this.
Mathematical device to illustrate them. The president used that mathematical device.
Which mathematical device? Which one? which mathematical device? Which one?
To illustrate the magnitude of the theft that has been happening against our country and our people. As he said, we have 4.2% of the world's population. We take 13% of the pharmaceutical drug. We spend 80% of the biotechnology research in our country, and we provide 75% of the profits to the pharmaceutical industry. This is a ripoff that has irked him for 20 years. During his first term,
do we consider that we're ripping ourselves off? Did we consider that for even a moment? Did you consider that potentially it's because other countries nationalize their pharmaceutical industry? Did we consider that for a moment? It's not so much cutting checks for grants because all of the research is being done in-house and those people are just getting paid to show up at their jobs. No.
he held the line on drug prices for the first time in history. He came back on this term and he said, we're going to lower them this time, no matter what. There's people in this room who are part of the White House staff who said we can't do that. Oz and I said we probably can't do that, but he harassed us. We were beleaguered. It was like Fort Apache. Dr. Oz would not answer his phone because he was calling all night long with the president on the line saying, get this done. And we brought in this amazing superstar, Chris Klump, and he negotiated these agreements that people said were impossible. I want to thank him for his leadership, Chris, and I want to thank George and Lynn, who are the co-founders of this company of Regeneron. Their generosity, their idealism, their love of this country, and their compassion for these children who are injured. Thank you.
Thank you, Will.
The children who were injured. I'm so glad that we care so much about injured children, and that's why we checks notes. Cut research for pediatric cancer. Meanwhile, China's fucking making bone glue. Japan's making fucking teeth regrowing gel. Germany's making knee replacement surgery not require surgery. They just give you an injection and it regrows your fucking cartilage. Yeah, no. So true, so true. But I'm glad that we care so much about the children. And by we, I mean the pedophiles in office. And by care about children, I mean want to rape children. That's what I mean. That's what I actually mean. Okay. 2 fake doctors telling each other exactly.
Amazing. It is amazing. And you're right. I took a lot of heat. I'd say 500, 600. But we also say sometimes 50%, 60%, different kind of calculation. 70, 80, and 90%. And people understand that better. But there are 2 ways of calculating it. But either way, it doesn't make any difference. Whether it's 60, 70, or 80%, nobody's ever heard of it. But it's also 500, 600, 700, depending on the way you want to look at it. So the way you word the calculation. It's either one. But Bobby, you're doing a fantastic job. We wanted somebody out of the box, and we got him, right? I would say we got him. And Bobby, he's a great guy, actually. So, Oz, how about...
You know, that's not always like a good thing. I've shared this quote before, but I was hanging out with some friends, and one of them said the stupidest thing possible, and they said, no, I don't know. I think that the Tesla Cybertruck kind of stands out, and everyone cringed. But then another friend stepped up and said, yeah, it stands out the way that, you know, like syphilis stands out. Doesn't mean it's a good thing, man. You know, yeah, maybe sometimes someone who thinks outside the box on this front isn't really, you know, I don't really want people reinventing math. I don't really know if I want people reinventing how we think vaccines work. Sometimes the box exists for a reason. Maybe. Just as an idea, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Their calculations be like...
Boom! 2 plus 2 is 4. Minus 1, that's 3. Quick maths.
The problem with that is that it was actually correct, so... Oh, that's good. Justice Department is bringing back firing squads in federal executions. The department said it is also to resume the use of lethal injection. Oh, okay. Oh. These steps are critical to deterring the most barbaric crimes, delivering justice for victims, and providing long overdue closure to surviving loved ones. Okay, first of all, I just want you guys to know, this is not an Onion article. This is an article from NBC. I want all of you guys to know. Second, you guys ever want to commit a crime and you're like, the crime for this, or the punishment for this crime is the death penalty. But thankfully, it's not death by shooting. It's not a firing squad. So I'm going to go commit the crime. Can I just speak to anyone who's ever had that thought? Just anyone. If that person has ever existed, ever. Because I'm going to wager no one, and I mean no one, has ever thought, I'm going to commit this crime even though I know the punishment is death. Oh, the punishment is no longer just like, what, death by in this case, they're talking about lethal injection. But let's say the electric chair. Oh, well, no. Now it's death by firing squad? No. Now I don't want to do that anymore. Huh? What? Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche has authorized seeking death sentences against 9 people after the Justice Department rescinded a Biden-era moratorium on federal executions. Among the actions taken are readopting the lethal injection protocol utilized during the first Trump administration, expanding the protocol to include additional manners of execution such as firing squad, streamlining internal processes to expedite the death penalty cases. Under President Trump's leadership, the Department of Justice is once again enforcing the law and standing with victims. What if I dodge the bullets? Am I free to go? What if I'm literally Wesker? Then what? How many bullets do I have to dodge before you let me go? Then what? What if I dodge for 7 minutes? Then what? I'm Neo. Can I leave? You guys see the Larian Studios game that's going to come out in a billion years because they actually care about their developers and don't want massive burnout and crunch? But do you guys see the trailer for the new game that they're going to work on? Larian Studios made Baldur's Gate 3. They're making the new Divinity game. This is unironically like what Americans want America to become. And I am not joking. Let me skip ahead a little. This is what Todd Blanche wants to do. This is what America, this is what they want America to be. What the fuck is this? This is a new trailer for the Divinity game. What the hell is this, a game? Yeah. This is the trailer for the new Divinity game. They're all like having an orgy about this guy getting burned to death. Mm-hmm. That's what's in RFK if the vessel is burned. This is what they want. And I'm not joking. Did you guys see the posts recently of people being like, a hot take, I think we should let people who do drugs overdose and kill themselves. It's like, you consider yourself to be part of a civilization. You're insane. That's not a hot take, that's just a stupid take. Okay. All right. So are we banning drugs or advocating for OD? They're just advocating for OD. That's just edgy child shit. You would be very surprised by the number of insane people that exist in this country. How many people have been found innocent after being executed? More than one, which is all the only thing that matters. I mean, the reality is the death penalty is wrong for a couple of reasons. One, I don't believe the state should have the power to execute people. Two, it's more expensive to have the death penalty than to imprison people for life. And three, there is always a chance that you incorrectly charge someone with a crime and kill them, and they didn't commit the crime. And there is nothing you can do to bring back that person's life. Literally nothing. There is no upside. Also, all of the research on whether or not it provides victims with more closure, all of that says no, by the way. That revenge in the form of killing the perpetrator actually does not help victims move past whatever crime or atrocity was committed against them. But it's fun but it's a fun event for the whole family. Oh, true. Wait, we can't unkill people? I don't think so yet. Death penalties actually are proven to increase victim mortality rates. Well, yeah, because the assumption there is that, like, killing the perpetrator somehow will provide magic closure to a victim. But that's not what provides closure and helps victims heal. The only way that you can heal is by having a good social or support network and having access to mental health resources, and then time. And that's it. Those are the only things that will actually help you. Sorry. There's nothing else. Let me close this. Isn't it so good that sometimes you just open an article and you're like surprised that it's not The Onion? It's just like, the US is going to bring back I'm looking forward to the article that says the US is going to bring back executions, public executions. And we will be selling popcorn more expensive than theaters. This is why we need state authorized necromancers. Mm-hmm. Someone linked this earlier. Wait.
So what's up with wives these days? You know, they're always
dark humor comedians.
complaining. I was talking to my wife the other day. She goes, hey, you're spending a little too much time at the bar. I tell her, hey, you keep talking to me like that, I'm gonna have to strangle you.
Oh man, I love dark humor. I mean, I like dark humor. That was just him threatening to strangle his wife, though. Exactly. You're not supposed to say that.
So grandmas are pretty sweet, aren't they? Anybody in here got a grandma?
What? Oh, I have a grandma. And he's relatable. This guy's amazing. Literally every single person on the planet has a grandma.
I was talking to my grandma the other day. She was being so sweet to me. I tell her, hey, you keep being that sweet to me, I'm gonna have to strangle you.
Oh man, he's on fire. That one didn't even make sense. Why would he strangle his grandma for being nice to him? Listen, man, it's okay that you don't like dark humor. It just means that you're a total pussy who doesn't understand what a joke is. Go watch Bob's Burgers or something.
So I was talking to this trans woman the other day. I go, hey.
Oh, jeez. Oh, this one's gonna be good.
I respect your gender identity. Thoughts, live your truth. But if you're gonna cut it off, you could have saved a couple inches for me. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, that one actually wasn't terrible. A little bit of misdirection, some self-deprecation. I kind of like that one. Nah, not his best work. I like his old stuff better. Really?
And then I threatened to strangle her.
There it is.
This does feel exactly like what it's like to talk to a hog, dude. Oh my god, it's fucked up how accurate it is, man. When you talk to hogs and it's like, you just want this, you literally just, you want to be propagandized too, and that's it. You want your little safe space. I have to say, we never got a chance to cover it, so now is a great opportunity to cover and talk about it. Dave Chappelle realizing that he has appealed to the worst people possible and that he's a total fucking moron. And if he actually listened to the people that criticized him, he would know, oh, shocker, the trans jokes weren't funny. That's why you were being criticized. If you were able to tell some good fucking jokes, people would have laughed. They would have laughed, dude. But instead, what do? You ever see men in a dress? Am I right? Am I right or what? It's like, what are you doing? Men are supposed to wear pants. And then they say, no, I can wear a dress. I'm trans. When are we bringing back tomatoes as a form of punishment for bad jokes? Let me see if I can find. Where is it? Let me see if this has like the jokes.
I am not saying that to say that trans women aren't women. I am just saying that those pussies that they got, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's not pussy, but that's like beyond pussy or impossible pussy. You know what I mean? It tastes like pussy, but that's not quite what it is it? It's not blood, that's beet juice. But
I'm sorry for saying literally nothing. I just don't. Is what? And it's so sad too, because it's so close. It's so close to maybe having a joke. Maybe there's a joke there, and then there's nothing there.
Can't say the word faggot. And she said, because, David, you are not gay. I said, well, Renee, I'm not a nigger either. But you see, what I didn't realize at the time and what Kevin had to learn the hard way is we were breaking an unwritten and unspoken rule of show business. And if I say it, you'll know that I'm telling you the truth. The rule is that no matter what you do in your artistic expression, you are never, ever allowed to upset The alphabet people.
Trans people literally are losing their IDs in multiple states. There is literally a trans genocide going on. Trans women can't even travel because their IDs don't match, and the gender identity on their ID doesn't match how they present. So they get stopped by fucking TSA, and they get told this has to be a fake ID, this has to be a fake passport. Step to the side. Hey, idiot! When you faked your passport, you forgot to change the gender identity. Oh, I'm sorry, Chance's poop pants. This is the only group you can't attack, as there's active legislation dedicated to eradicating trans people.
You know who I mean. Those people that took 20% of the alphabet for themselves. I'd say the letters, but I don't want to conjure their anger. It's too late now. I'm talking about them L's and them B's and them G's and the T's. People be surprised. I have friends, all kinds of letters. Everybody loves me and I love everybody. I got friends who are L's, I got friends who are B's, and I got friends who are G's. But the T's hate my fucking guts. And I don't blame them. It's not their fault, it's mine. I can't stop telling jokes about these niggas. I don't want to write these jokes, but I just can't stop. You know, you hear all those letters together all the time, LBGT, LBGT, and you think it's just one big movement. It's not. All those letters are their own movement. They just travel in the same car together.
Wrong.
And my guess is what is this, high school? This nigga probably got a babysitter or something. Go and answer your phone, nigga. Just get that shit out of here. I'm in the middle of something important. Wouldn't it be funny if we made fun of him? He was like, and he went outside like, hello? Mama's dead. Oh no! Mama's dead. That was a weird time phone call, wasn't it? It's like his phone is gay.
But motherfuckers are just taking it too far. I don't know why or how everybody got this goddamn...
There wasn't even a joke there. Oh my...
sensitive. You know who hates me the most? The transgender community. Yo, yeah,
Is his joke literally, these people don't like me? That's the whole joke?
Harvey Weinstein the guy who was something about kids?
Shit is
Harvey Weinstein the guy who was something about kids? Like the old guy, right? Okay. That's Epstein. Oh. Who's Einstein?
Stupidest thing I've ever seen. Oh my god, that was such a brutal mock. Oh god, that was such a brutal mock. That was a great punchline.
motherfucker. I mean, I didn't realize how bad it was. These motherfuckers, I was really mad about that last Netflix special. It's tough, man. I don't know what to do about it because I like them. I always have. Never had a problem with them. You know, just fucking around. As a matter of fact, I think I make fun of everybody, and I mean, as a group of people, they have to admit, it's kind of fucking hilarious, man. I'm sorry, bro. It's like, I've never seen somebody in such a hilarious predicament not have a sense of humor about it. They're born feeling like there's something other than they're born as, and that's kind of funny, you know? I mean, it's funny if it's not happening to you. It's like that white black bitch that's in the news all the time. Rachel Dolezal. She's a white woman, but then she dressed up like a nigga and shot her way up to the very top of blackness. And I always wanted to meet her just so I could understand. I just wanted to like have dinner with her so I could just look in her eyes and call her a nigger to her face. The fuck is that bitch talking about? I identify black. That is trans talk, lady. Stop biting. Stop biting. There's a big difference between her and a trans. The difference between her and a trans is I believe transgenders. I don't understand them either, but I know they mean what they say. Them niggas cut their dicks off. That's all the proof I need. I've never seen somebody just throw their dick away. Don't need it. I don't understand, but I believe you and I support your decision, motherfucker. But how far is Rachel willing to go?
So bad. Just not funny. Not funny. Dude, it's just not, none of it is funny. If you go back and watch Chappelle's show, it isn't as good as you remember it being. Some of it, yeah, but the rest is kind of not funny. Well, yeah, I mean, I understand comedy is hard and like writing an entire special and like doing stand-up is not easy, right? But so I don't expect every special to have every single line go crazy, go hard. But his old specials, a lot of it was good. This is just like fucking not, it's just not funny. Why is Denims subjecting herself in chat to CIA torture methods? Watching this unethical. Did you see him blaming everyone else for the fact that his transphobic rhetoric had consequences on trans people's rights? Why do you think we're talking about this? Comedy being hard doesn't mean that you should be a hack. The Rachel thing was the closest to being a joke. Another comedian could have killed that shit. Well, it's just like, it's just relying. Sorry, the problem that I'm having with all of these jokes is that it's just relying on the absurdity of the situation. He's not actually like writing the joke. He's just saying like, isn't that crazy? Whoa, isn't that crazy? Whoa, isn't that crazy? It's like, okay, are you going to write a joke? Is there ever going to be a punchline? Or are you just going to say like the same thing over and over and over again?
What is Rachel willing to do so that we blacks can believe that she believes she's actually one of us? Bitch, are you willing to put a lien on your house? Invest in a mixtape that probably won't work out?
Oh my God. It's not an anxiety. It's not a weed pen. It's an anxiety pen. Vaping on stage is crazy, dude. Oh, Lord almighty. The impossible pussy joke could have hit. Well, yeah, but he was using impossible pussy as impossible burgers to insinuate that it's worse or that it's less than or that it's fake. A much better analogy would have been like comparing it to like lab made diamonds to blood diamonds and being like, yeah, but I need the torture that comes with it, you know? I need to know that someone bled for this. All right? I need to know someone lost their childhood to this. That's what I need, the torture that came with having this. Then now you're making some puns. Now you're working with something, you know. Now you're highlighting how silly the idea is. Like, oh, what you need. And then you're making a menstruation joke too. Maybe, and like, I'm not a comedian. I'm not a stand-up comedian. Don't tell me to make a good joke and have a good punchline. But I can figure out that the base that you're working with there is bad. Yeah, I need the cramping that made this soul fertile. Yeah. Like, there was... Come on. There's got to be something better than that, man. And there you go. Dark humor right there. You're talking about how menstruation sucks. You're talking about how children die in fucking diamond mines so that People can have, there's stupid diamonds that cost more money for whatever dumb reason. You can even make a joke at the expense of trans women that is kind of mean, but also highlights the stupidity of cis-het relationships, i.e., with regard to women who need a blood diamond. They need a child to have suffered for the blood diamond. And you can say, like, you can make a joke that's misogynistic and be like, oh, and the blood diamond is more expensive. It's more imperfect. It's more expensive. But, you know, the heart wants what the heart wants or whatever. You know, I'll take both, but the heart wants what the heart wants. And then make a joke disparaging trans women and being like, that's still misogynistic. And then make a joke about how, like, trans women are less expensive than cis women. And they'll take, like, the bar is lower or whatever because so much of society is transphobic. You can do that. Like, there are better jokes than this. Come on, man. This is this is so ass. It's just ass. He's hiding behind the premise of not joking is exclusion to make jokes that just punch down. And the reality is people just don't like it because it's not funny. That's more social analysis than he has the range for. I like the concept of trans-inclusive misogyny for jokes. Well, at least there would be something there that's actually, like, based in some reality. You know what I mean? Like, the one-liners are just bad. They're just bad. They're just so bad, dude. What's the last comedy special you've seen? Oh, it's been a hot minute. I don't even know if I could tell you. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let me find this 1 second. And, like, in the same vein, I'm sure that, like, if a white comedian went up and did his, like, routine where he just says the N-word over and over again with the hard R, he wouldn't think it's funny. It's not that he would be triggered. It'd be that he doesn't think it's funny to just say the N-word over and over again. Gianmarco's special was really good. It should still be on YouTube. I think I saw that one. I don't remember. I think I've seen bits of that one. But I did see this. That was really fucking funny. The reason why we're talking about this, because it is not lost on me. The comedy of this comedian realizing what he did is not lost on me. Dave Chappelle says, I resent the Republican Party because they weaponize transgender jokes. That's not what I was doing. I'm going to try and find the full piece. 1 second. It's almost like your jokes were so dog shit and all they did was villainize trans people over and over again and throwing in one random, if you want to be a transgender, okay, be a transgender isn't enough. I'm so, like, annoyed by comedians that both want their words to matter and they want their voice to matter and they want their voice to have weight, but also they get really mad when their voice has weight. It's like, dude, you can't have your cake and eat it too, bro. Come on. Yeah, he did this shit. Dave Chappelle recently called out Republicans in a new interview with NPR, accusing members of the political party of weaponizing his transgender jokes.
My favorite part of my evolution was when I quit. There's certain things that I became in that time that I love about myself.
Do you feel like your job is to be provocative, controversial, polarizing, any of that?
I don't court it. I just don't flinch from it. The United States government does business with the Saudis. Netflix does business with the Saudis. And none of these things were an issue until I went there. As soon as a black man can make money off the plantation, they're trying to tell you that the money is dirty.
Dave Chappelle is one of the most influential stand-up comedians of our time. He's known for pushing the boundaries of what it's okay to say in public. He also uses his influence to advance the causes he believes in his art and in his community. Now, you probably know that, but what you may not know is that he lives here in Yellow Springs, Ohio, and that's where we begin our conversation. Thank you for having us.
Oh, man, what an honor. What an honor.
Tell us where we are.
Well, this is my future.
Let me find the part where.
You know what's interesting, though? We are in a time when, I know you talked about comedians as being like the nation's kidney who process like all the things that people feel, like all of it, right? The President of the United States says everything. I mean, we are in a moment where the President of the United States expresses things in a way. He expresses things that many people find deeply offensive. He expresses them in a way that many people find deeply offensive and hurtful. And I'm just wondering, does that change your work? Because it's one thing to be a person who articulates the rawness when the rest of the world is buttoned up. But what about when the rest of the world isn't buttoned up? And I just wonder if that changes things for you. You know what I'm saying?
And he's a bad example because he has a dismissive shorthand about people. Like a comedian who's up there talking, it's a way different type of interface than say being president of the United States, because
it's a totally different job. I credit that, but I'm saying
I'm talking about not just the job, the actual interface, how we actually are communicating to people.
Well, say more.
Well, the presidency is the presidency. If you vote for the person or not, that's your president. This is an authority figure. This is the top law enforcement agent. He's the top, he's the executor of all of America's affairs. And I just have to move my crowd. You can opt out of my crowd. But you shouldn't have to leave America because the president's making the block too hot for you. So and I did resent that the Republican Party ran on transgender jokes. I felt like they were doing a weaponized version of what I was doing. I didn't. It's not what I was doing. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
This was before I learned the phrase "I respectfully decline," and I was on Capitol Hill, and everybody ran up to take pictures with me from every congressional office. And I just take pictures with whoever asked. I didn't ask how they vote or what their voting record is. And
The problem is that if all of your jokes disparage trans people and you spend half of 1 second in any given special saying, I think trans people are okay, that's not good enough when trans people's rights are currently under attack. If we're talking Jim Crow era and the comedians are making jokes exclusively disparaging and insulting and dehumanizing Black Americans, guess what? There's a time and place. And maybe the time and place isn't when people's rights are being attacked. Maybe, I don't know, wait a decade for us to maybe have enough people that treat trans people like people, and then you can make those jokes that I don't think are very funny, but whatever, at least, fine, I guess.
And everyone at first was like CBC people. And then here comes Lauren Boebert. And she said, can I get a picture? And I'd already taken 40 pictures. I didn't want to say no in front of everybody. But I didn't know the phrase, I respectfully decline. So I just took the picture. And then
You're a famous comedian with millions of fans, and you didn't know the phrase, I respectfully decline for a photo? Are we serious? I'm literally neurodivergent comedian and a minor. How old is he? 40? 50? And I didn't know as a famous celebrity how to tell someone no to a photo. Bro can quit his own TV show, but he can't say sorry no to a photo. He's just a child, you maniacs. He's just a child. How could you do that to him? Are we serious right now? Oh, I didn't know the word. No. I gave her the picture she wanted. To Lauren Boebert. Isn't Lauren Boebert 2 apples tall, bro? Just step over her. It's not like if it was Marjorie Titan Green, I'd be like, okay, I would be afraid that she would, transform and eat my fucking family. Okay. It's Lauren Boebert, dude. Are we serious? Or what are we doing here?
posts a picture before I could even get from there to the show and says something to the effect of just two people that knew that it's just two genders. She instantly like weaponized it or politicized it. So I got to the arena and I lit her ass up for doing that. And she should never do that, a person like me.
Now she knows what's up.
Yeah, you do whatever the fuck you're doing. Excuse my language. You do whatever it is you do, but don't get me out of the splash zone of your.
Some people think the president's funny. And I've had people say this to me, like I've interviewed people to say, well, what do you like about him? They say, he's funny. Do you think he's funny?
Maybe if he wasn't president, I think that was funny. Or maybe at times, I mean, I do think, you know, that's wearing thin. There are funny things about him. Like if I were to talk about him, I could, it would be funny. But I think what he does is so consequential. And so much of these things, you know, in my life.
Oh, it's almost like you have a responsibility when you have power. Power, by the way, which you also still have as a celebrity.
I've never really seen anything, a phenomenon quite like him. And I'm not trying to be political, but it's remarkable. I don't know. I don't know how funny it is.
Do you feel, given the platform that you now have and the fact that people seek you out, does that change your sense of responsibility for the work?
No.
No.
No. For my work, no. I mean, listen, I could personally say I don't want to. That's a tough question. There is a thing that happens when an artist gets bigger, that the platform gets bigger, that there's an expectation.
That chat, growth. He learned how to say no. Growth. You guys hate to see a king grow as a person.
That you behave a certain way. And that's kind of the box that I fell for in Chappelle's show. Well, I didn't fall for it, but I was overwhelmed by that idea of like, it's a lot of responsibility. But I've come to the understanding that you know, you gotta be true to your work. That's the job. And if that makes you big, so be it. But then you don't, but then what happens is you get big and then you start being true to being big. And that's a mistake. Stay true to your work. Say what you have to say.
Say what you have to say. Your Honor, I had to say those jokes that weren't funny about trans people. I had to say them. I had to.
Being big informs me in such a way that I feel like I don't want to step on any ants or any blades of grass. I don't want to hurt anybody, then so be it. That's what I decide. But I have yet to make those types of decisions. I don't feel like anything I do is malicious or even harmful. And I think if I did hurt somebody with my word, boy, they would have been laid there at my feet. I'm just not doing that.
If you feel like your life has had chapters or your career has had chapters, I mean, there was the chapter when you were trying to make it, and then there's the Chappelle show chapter where you blew up and became like this big cultural figure.
Literally talking about trans people having their rights taken away from them and conservatives using you as a tool because you're comfortable disparaging a group of people who are currently being attacked. And your response is, well, if I ever did harm someone, you know, they should tell me and I would care. Literally fuck off, dude. Literally fuck off. Except every time somebody says that they've hurt you, you say that, well, they need to get over it.
And then you took this break and kind of did your own thing. You became known as the guy who walked away from $50 million. It's like you got some of it later, I understand. But, you know, there is that chapter where you took a break and kind of recalibrated yourself. What do you think this chapter is? What would you say this chapter is?
Well, that's a good question. Man, that's a really good question. Okay, for context, like I started doing stand-up when I was 14. So, okay, you think about it a couple ways, right? Your evolution artistically, right? Your evolution professionally, but also just your evolution It's like a man. As a funny 14-year-old is so much different than what I've become. But so much of that was because of life experiences. So the chapter where I'm trying to make it, right, that early chapter, I'm in high school. And then the first big hurdle is the decision to defer going to college. I'm going to go to New York and try to, So then there's like the New York years, right? And there's all the professional milestones and television deals and high hopes and heartbreaks and all that. And then, you meet a girl and fall in love, and then, we have a kid, and I moved back to Ohio, and I wasn't expecting to, there's all these personal. So my favorite part of my evolution was when I quit. And it was the hardest part. Quitting was one part hard, but then the years after that was another kind of hard. But artistically, and as a guy, there's certain things that I became in that time that I love about myself. And I didn't realize it till COVID, when I was just sitting in the house trapped with all my choices. And I said, these were not bad choices. It's like, it could have been better, but boy, it could have been worse. I like my kids, I like my wife, I like where I live, I like my friends, I like my community, and I have recourse. Thank God. That was the best. Like 2020 was the first time that I realized.
So fucking boring, dude. Can we talk about real comedians doing real shit? All of that was just to say, it's so pathetic that he tries to hide behind this, like, everybody just hates my jokes because they hate comedy. Meanwhile, it's, no, your jokes aren't funny and all they do is punch down. You're not even making a joke. You're just saying, like, trans people, am I right? Over and over and over again. You're just doing airline food over and over and over again. And the old ball and chain, whatever the equivalent is of that for trans people, people correctly clocked that and criticized you and said, you're only going to appeal to the lowest common denominator, which is chuds. You're going to make your bed, now lie in it. And then he was like, I can't believe people like Lauren Boebert like me and think I'm transphobic. What the hell? How could this happen? It's like, wait, I thought it was just the woke mob that was wrongfully clocking you as transphobic. Isn't it crazy that the people on the left think you're transphobic and the people on the right think you're transphobic and everybody else thinks you're transphobic? Isn't that crazy? Maybe it's because you speak in a way that makes people think you're transphobic. And it's actually not just trans people that don't like you. Oh my God, dude. All right, guys. I wanted to switch over to this. This is for Fun Day. This is for Friday Fun Day. I saw a really good video from Big Joel on Mr. Beast. And you guys have to understand, how can I correctly fuel my Mr. Beast dislike if I have nothing to run on? Oh my God. Anon? The huge hundo from Anon? Let's fucking go! What the? Thank you. Thank you so much. Fun day, fun day! This guy's trying to get Resident Evil. This guy over here. Blue Anon Soros, question mark? Is that you? Thank you. Thank you so much for the hundo. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the 30. You don't understand. They need our freedoms. Kami, thank you for the 30. Puff, thank you for the 30. Mind of the Mage. Thank you so much for the 64. Sorry, no, for the 4. Puff, thank you for the 64. Hammock, thank you for the 5. Villainy, thank you for the 64. Eldarian, thank you for the 5. Silosman, thank you for the 4. One Fool, thank you for the gift sub. Thanks, guys. Emily, thank you for the 20 months. Thanks, guys. I just want to say, you enjoy the stream? You like watching the broadcast? You like a totally ad-free, one of the few streams on twitch.tv that is ad-free? Completely sponsor-free? One of the few streams that is only made possible. Your contribution and support. The Denims broadcasting service only exists because of viewers like you, for viewers like you. And if you enjoy those streams, feel free to throw a tier 1, a tier 2, tier 3 sub, or potentially I want a tier 3 Denims emo. You're right. You're right. You're right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let it be known. It will be happening. It will be happening. #add true. Thank you so much for all of the support. But if you would like to support the channel, you can use a tier 1, a tier 2, tier 3, or you can use a Prime if it's just sitting around collecting dust, or you can gift a sub to somebody else that's naked, afraid, pantsless. For shame. For shame. Give the people their fucking pants for shame. And it would mean a lot for me. To me. And maybe, just maybe, we could even have a gaming stream today. Maybe. Maybe, just maybe. Is it Denims Broadcasting Service or Pants Broadcasting Service? Wait a minute. Wait a minute, you're right. Maybe it is PBS. DBS actually stands for Denims Ball Super. I will neither confirm nor deny that. I will neither confirm nor deny that. Counter, thank you for the 10 gifties. Mock, thank you for the 5 gifties. Thank you so much. Maybe it is PBS after all. Behind, thank you so much for the 20. What the? Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But yeah, if you like the stream, you find yourself tuning into the stream as often or maybe more often than you do watch other things like Netflix or Tubi or Movie. It's on Pubo. It's on TV. Feel free to throw some support because, again, like I said, I only get to do this broadcast because of you guys. And I only get to be a generational Mr. Beast hater because of you guys. So thank you. Thank you for letting me be a generational Mr. Beast hater. Thank you for supporting me on Pubo, Scrumpo, Ibu, Shitto. It's on Shitto. Check it out on Snoobor. So yeah. All right. Mr. Teeth is disgusting. How dare you? There was this one and then there was the Folding Ideas one. I haven't seen the Folding Ideas one. I've seen people talk about that one being pretty good. I just wanted to take a peek at this one and then we'll see the other one.
So on January 8th, Mr. Beast, the online sensation, messaged me to ask if I thought the new season of his Amazon Prime show, Beast Games, was better than...
Did you see the emote I had made, Denims? Wait a minute. I don't even know if I still have space. I have to make space to add this. Wait a minute. I have to make space. Not this.
Season 1. He said he took a lot of feedback from my video and videos like it, and that he'd love to see a review of Season 2. I kind of don't believe that Mr. Beast actually watched my entire hour-and-a-half long video about the first season of his show. I'm not throwing shade there, I just feel like he's a busy guy and might not care that much, but it was still cool to be thought of in that way, and I'll forever hold my conversation with Mr. Beast close to my heart. Anyway, this video is for you, Mr. Beast. I hope you enjoy it, though I have to admit, I really did not like Season 2 of Beast Games. Episode 1. The Crunchening. So Mr. Beast comes out in his classic Mr. Beast sweatshirt suit, and he tells us that this season has a special gimmick. It's brains versus brawn. 100 of the strongest people around versus 100 of the smartest.
Will it be brains or biceps that wins Beast Games?
And just so you know, that group of smart people includes folks with some pretty remarkable credentials. They have a chess coach in the house. They don't say if he's a master or grandmaster or whatever, but like, you know, that's a chess coach. They got a crypto content creator over here.
Yeah, if it's $1 million, I'm gonna take $1 million.
I didn't even know guys like that needed 5 million beast bucks. Okay, I'm being too mean too fast, so let me give 2 compliments. First, on principle, I actually like this idea. It's fun to give your show a narrative through line, particularly as we're getting to know the contestants. And when I saw it was Strongs versus Smarts, you know, I got a little excited. Who will win? The nerds or the hard bodies? The gays or the straights? The Asian Americans, the Caucasians, the Latinos, or the African Americans?
They have been divided into 4 very unique tribes: Asian American, Caucasian, Latino, and African American.
I don't know. We'll see. Compliment number 2, the first game is...
Was that Survivor? What the fuck? What an insane season. What the fuck?
Is fine. They take 100 strong people and basically make them climb a rope and pick up a weight and come back up. And I'm not saying that's genius or anything, but it is better than nothing. And the first games of season 1 were actually nothing.
In order for your team to move on, someone must sacrifice themselves.
Also, the weights that people have to lift are actually proportional to their body weights, so it's not totally unfair to women. It feels as though Mr. Beast is atoning for his past sins, for the time he gave his players a push-up competition and sent the weakest woman right home. Hey. So, when I recorded and edited this part of the video, I hadn't yet seen the behind-the-scenes footage for Beast Games Season 2. And if you watch that footage, you can see that, as it turns out, they did end the first game with a push-up competition. There
Oh, stop! I like how he has a multi-million dollar budget, and he's like, okay, what do we make this next competition? Push-ups.
There was a push-up competition.
Down, up, down, up.
The first game didn't work out so good. Too many people lost it, and so in order to get enough strong people into the show, they had a quick little, gender segregated push-up competition.
This will never make the show.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I'm not going to be deducting points for this push-up contest, and I'll tell you why. I didn't even know about it when I saw the episode. I didn't know that it was around, and it didn't bother me any. And to add one extra point here, I approve of the artifice. I think that push-up competition was cut for a reason, and that Mr. Beast should try to cut everything that's bad about the show and lie about exactly what happens. That's fine. Lie and lie for all I care. So this game was fine. I'm not going to deduct any points, but I want you to know that I know that, yes, there was a push-up competition. I know. I'm going to give this rope game a 7 out of 10. That's the Beast Games weighted score. There's some suspense. There's some tears. It's so slippery, says a woman to Mr. Beast.
It's so slippery.
It's $5 million, says Mr. Beast to the woman.
It's $5 million!
I know, says the woman to Mr. Beast.
I know.
Game 2. Beast
Stop narrating it. Stop.
Takes his 100 geniuses and makes them quickly memorize and reproduce a multicolored block tower.
Is this? Oh my god.
They have to reproduce on the show? What the hell?
No, this is scary.
And here, I think, is where things start to go just a little downhill. Mr. Beast speeds us through his block laying process. The audience isn't given an opportunity to see if we can remember the sequence of blocks. It would be like if Regis Philbin didn't tell us the questions he was asking his contestants and instead just cut to a question asking montage, and every so often was just like, this guy is so good at trivia, he's so smart. Now I know what you're gonna say, Big Joel, do you really want to watch Mr. Beast monotonously place 10 blocks of different colors so you can see if you would be able to memorize the sequence? Like, would that version of the show really be better? And the answer to that question is no, but see, that's probably why I wouldn't include the game in my game show. Like, if the game is so boring that we have to cut past it extremely fast, then it must not be too exciting of a game then. Anyway, it all leads to a situation where the quote-unquote game is basically just watching a bunch of people building a block tower.
3.
What are the last 2?
Oh my god.
What are the last 2? Last 2.
It's a 3 out of 10. After this point, the remaining contestants wander into Beast City, which looks just as beautiful and scenic as it did in the last season. I mean, as Mr. Beast correctly and repeatedly points out, this shit blows my mind.
This is gonna blow your mind! Beast City is back! And
it's going to blow your mind.
There's a Starbucks open there 24/7 now too, and they get limitless free Starbucks drinks.
That is a real Starbucks with real baristas in it.
And I can't help but imagine what it would be like to myself live in a place so sweet and abundant. After like 10 full minutes of watching people adjust to their new Beast lives, we move on to Game 3. Beast takes everyone into a room, and it's revealed that 10 new contestants might be joining the show. Well, not new exactly.
I feel like if you gave chat the job of making Mr. Beast shows entertaining, they would do a better job. This is like actually brutal, actually.
They're all notable Beast Games Season 1 players, including Jeff, the guy who won $10 million last year.
Oh, this is who the assassin was. People kept being like, who the fuck is the assassin standing there in the background?
The Season 1 champion is back.
They all stand with $100,000 briefcases, and if anyone wants to, they can take the money, leave the show, and allow the old player to return. So I hate this game for many reasons. I actually counted, and there are 4, so let me tell you the truth. Number 1, we were told that the gimmick of this season was strong people versus smart people. I don't know if you remember that, but it was a big part of the advertising for the game. But now that gimmick is just made a lot weaker. There are 10 new random guys, 10% of the contestants on the show, who have nothing to do with its supposed point. Number 2, it feels too early. I understand the producers of this show probably wanted to give the audience some familiar faces to latch onto, but the problem is, dumping a bunch of new people in the show isn't interesting when there are already 100 other people. I think it would just be way more impactful and exciting to see these contestants introduced later on. Number 3, it's an unearned Beast Games victory lap. Like, does Beast Games really have all-stars yet? Does it have fan favorites that everyone just needs to see again? This is the 2nd season of the show. Could we relax? Like, wow, we got Kareem back, the nasty manipulator from last season. Let's get mad at him all over again.
Don't they usually do the all-star seasons after like the show's been out for like 5 years? Like usually I feel like it's like the decade mark, but like minimum 5 years, right? Right?
Is number 225, the one that 406 bullied in season 1, and I'm gonna be the one to take him out.
Wow, JC is here. He took a lot of money in the first season. I wonder if all the other contestants will forgive him. Who cares? These are not interesting people to me.
JC, I'm gonna let you back in, but make sure you leave some money for the rest of the people.
Thank you. Number 4, it's not a game. Of course there are 10 people out of 100 who would willingly take $100,000 to leave Beast Games. There's no tension or intrigue here, and it's obvious that the only reason—
It does feel like there's a lot of the Mr. Beast content. I saw recently there was like one where they had to like they had to stay in a grocery store for like $250,000. And Mr. Beast frequently has this problem where he can't imagine that people would work together. And he thinks that like the capitalist rat race will make everyone go full like crabs in a bucket mode. And then he doesn't know what to do when people work together. He's like, but you're supposed to fight for it and like hurt each other to get above. What the fuck? I don't understand why you guys are working together and forming human bonds. I don't understand. What is that like? I don't understand what is that supposed to mean? What does that mean exactly? And then he changed the games to make them compete again? Yeah. He was raised on Big Brother, Road Rule, Survivor. Why would he assume cooperation works? Well, all of those shows, first of all, cooperation does work. Admittedly, I've never watched Big Brother or Road Rules, but in Survivor, they do work together. That's like one of the primary aspects of the show is like they're supposed to cooperate. And then you have to create a circumstance that makes them want to pit each other against each other. You can't just make it so that like, oh, the natural state of man is to want to compete at other people's detriment. Like, no, the natural state is people want to succeed and they also want the people around them that help them get there succeed. Like, that's what? There are alliances in Big Brothers, no teams, though. He watched Squid Games and took the side of the villain. No, but like literally. I was going to say something else. So it does feel like when he watches some of these games, he He has a fundamental misunderstanding about how people will act because, he was made in a fucking lab. So when he's making these games, he doesn't understand how to put these games together in a way that's interesting. So they just come off a little bit lackluster.
And Jimmy included this sequence was so that he could justify throwing these season 1 people back in the show. It takes like 12 full minutes to get through this process. It ends the first episode and begins the second, and it's all totally pointless. It gets a 2 out of 10.
Let's bring back the winner.
Oh my gosh!
Anyway, now we're on to episode 2 proper, and let me tell you, this time, the Beast is gonna go crazy. He lets his contestants choose from 4 separate games. A game of balls, a game of balance, a game of bluff, and a game of blocks. And we'll just go through these in the order that the show does. Game 1, balls. Basically, it's dodgeball, but with the added twist that the floor, splits people into teams. It's hard to explain, but you're seeing it right now, so you do get it, I imagine. It's pretty good, honestly.
He drilled her.
The best thing about this game is that a lot of people are in one alliance and demand that nobody try to get people out who are in that alliance.
It's exactly 9 of the strong team and 9 spots in the city. So we're all trying to make it back.
People are just keeping her in. Drop, drop, drop.
Drop, drop, drop.
But this one guy, Akira, who was in the last season, just gets people out randomly, and it's always good to see how affronted everyone is by him playing the game. Of course, this puts a huge target on his back, and he gets tagged with a ball just a few rounds in.
I think Akira is finito. You are done, brother.
Whoa.
Next round. See ya, Akira.
It's telling, I guess, that Mr. Beast constructed a game where playing it in the most fun, exciting way possible gets you sent home immediately. I'm sure nothing like that will happen again in this episode, and this dodgeball game is pretty fun, so... it gets an 8 out of 10.
If I have to be their sword to get them back into the city, I will take people out one at a time. Oh.
Game 2, balance. Mr. Beast shocks me and his contestants. See, everyone thought that balance would be a game of strength, but no, this one's about intelligence.
You all chose this challenge and your opponent because you thought this would be a game of strength. But believe it or not, this is actually a game of intelligence.
Unfortunately, what he said there isn't true. This isn't a game of strength, but it's also not a game of intelligence. It's luck. It's a luck game. There's a heart on a scale, and the contestants have to take turns putting rocks on the other side, hoping that the weight of the rocks isn't greater than the weight of the heart.
Surprise! It's actually fucking neither, you fucking idiots.
Now, is there some strategy to this? I don't know. Maybe. Some contestants care about where the rocks are placed and want to distribute the weight in a smart way. I guess that could have some impact.
A lot of this game is where you're going to place this on the platform. It's not just about the weight, but it's how the weight is going to be distributed.
But at the end of the day, I mean... it's not that deep, is it? Players plop rocks on the scale and hope that the rock pile isn't too heavy.
The more weight that gets added, the harder this is going to get.
At some point, someone's going to put on a rock that's too heavy and the heart's going to break, and that process doesn't feel to me like it involves a lot of intelligence. It's more like Hot Potato than anything. It's a game that's quite similar to the classic game Hot Potato, though it actually might be less demanding than Hot Potato is. It's a 3 out of 10. Game 3, Bluff. The contestants get a sticker on the back of their heads, and they have to rely on other contestants to tell them what color the sticker is. They have to move to a circle that's the same color as their head sticker, and so it's an opportunity for the players to bluff and scheme against each other. As it turns out, though, the players essentially refuse to play the game.
Blue team! Do you see what I mean? He doesn't create an incentive for being an asshole. The reason why capitalism works / doesn't work is because it incentivizes you to steal the value of the labor of the people beneath you. And his brain is so naturally attuned to wanting everyone to be a crab in the bucket. He can't imagine a world where people don't immediately want to do that. He thinks that the natural state of existing is ruining the lives of other people. The reason why it works in Squid Games is because the punishment is death. You're not going to get killed if you play the game wrong. You're just not going to leave with any money.
Are all safe.
Let's go, guys.
Red team, you're also safe. Green team and yellow team, you're also safe. Congrats, you have all passed. But hey, eventually you gotta start lying.
One guy is sent home on purpose, Kareem, the manipulator from last season.
I'm sorry, Kareem. You have red on the back of your head. You have been eliminated.
Oh, Kareem's out. Let's go.
It's actually kind of horrible to see so much fanfare devoted to this guy.
Again, literally, like, he's astonished that people aren't, their natural state isn't to be terrible to each other. He's like, you guys, why aren't you trying to destroy everyone around you? In fact, when society works and when people in a society work, this is what actually happens. The liars and the cheats get kicked out because everyone agrees the only person that should be lied to and removed from a just society is that person. Yeah, the one guy who was introduced with a bad reputation was kicked out. Shocking. Nobody wants to win because they made everybody else lose. People want to win because they earned that win. So it's like, what are we doing?
Only for him to unceremoniously be deleted within 5 minutes.
Kareem and his brother Haslam gaslit my wife on national television to get her out.
You guys.
But outside of that, everybody just helps everybody. In the end, Mr. Beast just has everyone play a game of chance to get rid of more players, and that's that.
Our first random elimination, 57.
Right here.
Oh no.
So I understand that it's easy to see these things in retrospect, but I do think this game was profoundly broken in design, and that is the sort of thing that Mr. Beast could have and should have avoided. To put it simply, everything about the game discourages players from engaging with it as it was designed, discourages contestants from lying to each other. For one thing, the choice to bluff in this context puts an obvious target on your back. If you lie to someone about their sticker, everyone will see that you did that and maybe judge you for it. What's more, it would only take a bunch of other people correcting your lie for the person you lied to figure it out. Like, there are 30 people around. Are they all gonna lie? And if not, what was even the point of lying yourself? More importantly, the structure of Beast games clearly incentivizes players to be as pro-social as possible. I imagine that when Jimmy and his team were playtesting this game, they did so with a bunch of people who had nothing on the line. Just got some folks together and told them, have fun bluffing. And those people were probably happy to lie to each other because, they had no reason not to. But contestants on Beast games are supposed to be friends with each other. They're supposed to make alliances. 10 full minutes of the first episode was devoted to just that.
They will have to make alliances and build trust. There we go.
And you don't want to break the alliance, do you? That's what happened to Akira in the dodgeball game. And just look at where he is now. No, if you're playing to win, not just win this game, but the $5 million grand prize, the best idea is to keep your head down, not look like an asshole, and hope you don't get sent home. Mr. Beast is upset when none of the players engage with his game. He threatens them with a game of luck as though that's somehow a worse option for them, and he's clearly disappointed.
I'm gonna give you all one more chance to play this game the way it was designed to be played. But if you guys once again refuse to lie to each other, refuse to bluff, you will give me no choice but to go to my plan B. And I promise you, none of you are gonna—
It sounds like you designed a shit game, dude. What the fuck? I mean, again, like, do you really expect a guy who was grown in a fucking lab to understand human nature?
Like plan B.
But you can't just ask players to make games fun for you. That's your job, Jimmy, and you didn't do a good job at it. It's a 1 out of 10.
This really breaks my heart. Shake this box really well. All right, I'm not looking in the box. Here we go. I have a name.
I feel sick.
Game 4, blocks. 2 teams have to race to build a tall block tower, and yeah, it's pretty good. There's nothing wrong with it.
Oh, no. Are gone.
people.
You know, I feel a bit guilty because when I don't like a game, I talk about it for a long time, but when I do like one, I skip right by it. But at the same time, I feel like that's kind of the nature of Beast games, both Season 1 and 2. Sometimes it's iconically horrible and broken in a very funny way, and sometimes you get to see people stack blocks for 5 minutes and it's fine. The lows are low and the highs are astronomically high. And with that, let's move on to episode 3, Beast or Beasted. So Mr. Beast gets the remaining 50 people to split into groups of 5, and they have to run obstacle courses. The first 2 teams go head-to-head against each other. If anyone from a team fails to do the course, their team loses. So predictably, one of the teams immediately gets out.
Couldn't we, like, workshop that name? Beast or Beasted? I don't really like the name. I don't mean to be bold here, but I kind of don't like that name.
And that's that. So that's kind of boring, and I have to admit, I don't think the obstacle course here is that good. Like, it's not impressive in the way
Bested was right there. Yeah, I don't know.
a Ninja Warrior course is.
Is this how he normally speaks, or is this highly sarcastic? This is just how he speaks.
It's not funny or nasty in the way a Wipeout course is.
That'll surely slow him down. No, he's still going. Even the mud can't stop Dean. This is great.
But I mean, that's fine. It has to be the sort of thing that all these people could reasonably be able to do, and it's the first race. Let's give it a 5 out of 10. Course 2. Oh, we're running on the same course again, except now it's not the whole team's racing, it's a sequence of one-on-one races.
Remember, every round is not the same.
Oh my god.
Round 2 is 1v1.
So that, you may notice, is the same thing. That's
Can you
not
imagine
different in an interesting way.
Can you imagine showing up for this garbage and then you have to, like, pretend like you're excited about it? Can you imagine you show up to Mr. Beast games, you're like, I don't know, man, sure, maybe I make some money, maybe I don't. And they're like, I'm not seeing a lot of movement. And you have to be like, oh my God, oh. Is that good enough?
At all. I actually wouldn't have much to say about this obstacle course round at all, except for the fact that Mr. Beast says this right before the race.
But this isn't all physical. Make sure you use the smart people on your team to strategically choose the best competitors for each round.
And I think that ridiculous line is as good a time as any to talk about one of the biggest and most fundamental problems with Beast Game Season 2. The whole intelligence thing is extremely stupid. I made a joke in the first minute of this video about how one of the smart people is a chess coach and another one is a crypto content creator. But they do have more types of guys than that. There's a woman who can do math in her head really quick. There's another woman who has the same IQ as Einstein.
I have a super high IQ, about the same as Albert Einstein.
In many cases, people qualify as smart because they have some kind of advanced degree. This guy is a doctorate. This woman has 8 degrees. This pre-med student did really well on the MCATs. This guy is a research scientist at Harvard. Now look, all of these things are impressive and great. It's cool to have a PhD.
How does being like a pre-med student help you?
Have one? But when push comes to shove, what beast game would a researcher in behavioral science be really good at? How is your pre-med knowledge relevant to the beast game experience?
I have a 4.0 GPA and I scored a near perfect score on my...
I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something bold. Bold. Brave. Having really high grades is not actually a sign of intelligence. It's actually just a sign of diligence. Sorry. It's just a matter of how hard you try and study. It's just a matter of how much time you spend studying. There is like an advantage to just like being able to pick up certain things a little bit faster. But realistically, you are much better off just being studious. Sorry. Like, and I'm sorry, you don't have a 4.0 GPA by not doing any studying. That doesn't happen. This just doesn't happen. It's just not, it's literally, it's ridiculous. I don't know. I have never met someone with a 4.0 GPA in college who did not study. It just doesn't exist. It literally does not exist. so ridiculous. It's actually so ridiculous. In fact, saying you're smart by pointing to your GPA is actually just saying that you're dumb. Not to be rude, I don't think that was a hot take. I thought that was a commonly accepted info. That's true, actually. That's true. How well you can articulate and simplify the information and apply that knowledge where intelligence actually is, I thought. I mean, intelligence is like, you need to study to get 50%. Well, I don't know. As someone who's had like some classes where I didn't need to study to like pass the class easily, you can't get a perfect GPA or like a 4.0 GPA not studying. I have never spoken to someone who has gotten like straight A's that didn't study, ever. But I feel like intelligence is more so measured by how well you can apply concepts that you've learned elsewhere and combine them to make something greater than the sum of the parts. Being able to use ideas and information to create something new is a sign of intelligence. Being able to like memorize information is not a sign of intelligence. It's just not. It's just, I don't. L take. I mean, you can disagree. Sorry. I didn't study and I graduated high school doing bare minimum. Okay, like I just said. Getting a 4.0 GPA in college. I didn't study. I didn't even do the homework most of the time in high school. And I graduated high school with like a 3.6 or 7 or something. And I did not study for a single exam in high school. That's why I specified college, because high school in this country is a fucking joke. 7, shut the fuck up. High school is like, it's high school, how well you do in high school is dependent on how many positive experiences you had with subjects growing up. AP classes are no joke. Trust me, I took many AP classes. In fact, my shit was stacked with AP classes to the point where I literally went to whatever the fuck they're called. I don't know, the people that what do they call that? Like, not, I guess like counselor or whatever. And I was like, can I not take these AP classes? I don't want to take these AP classes. And the lady literally told me, she looked at me in the face and she said, yeah, sorry, that's not how that works, because we get grants based on how many students we have in AP classes. So yeah, you have to take all those AP classes. Like my senior year was like AP art history, AP calc, I think I took AP M, AP US history, and AP stats. No, stats was the year before. I don't remember what the other one. I think it was like, AP, I think like English literature. And I was like, but I don't even want these stupid fucking classes. Or whatever, I guess. Sure. And guess what? I had, I think like an A-. Although I was slacking senior year. The very last semester, I did not give a shit at all. So maybe it was a B+ by the end of it. And I didn't study for any of those classes. Any of them. Because it's not a sign of intelligence. It's just like certain things will click for you a little bit easier. Senioritis, classic. You also had AP anti-Semitism where you learned about hummus. That's actually factually true. That's true, because it was in the woke city of Mamdanistan. Even before Mamdani took control and implemented Shakira law, he was already working behind the scenes on that. So yeah, you're right. Anyways, yeah, like it's just not passing in high school is not a sign of intelligence. Getting a 4.0 in college is a sign of hard work. It doesn't mean you're not intelligent. You can also be intelligent, but you don't get a 4.0 just because of intelligence. You get a 4.0 because you're willing to go home and memorize and dedicate yourself to the material. That's why. Sorry. All of my senior year classes for accounting, I took 6 classes. I got approved to take 6 classes in college for my last 2 semesters, and I got straight A's in all my classes. Why? Because I would go home or I would go to the library and I would literally study for 2 hours every day. And by study, I mean I would do exam prep, or I would do material prep, or I would sit there and really do the homework. Like, not just do the homework, like, okay, whatever, multiple choice, whatever. Let me just find this fucking test book. Like, try and figure out the answer for the questions in the longest way possible. And I would read the chapter, I know, crazy, before class. And then when I would show up to class, I had baseline knowledge and I would pay attention in class. But that wasn't without doing 2 hours a day, every day. And that's how I was able to get straight A's. Not necessarily a sign of intelligence, it's just diligence. So it seems so stupid to be like, I have a 4.0, I'm a genius. It's like, and I don't even blame it on this guy. He probably just signed up for the Mr. Beast games and they were like, okay, what's your most impressive quality? Like, we're doing this brains versus bronze. Do you have either? Okay.
MCAT.
They call me the human calculator.
You can imagine a best case scenario for Beast games. One where
You some kind of nerd? Shut up. Yes. Well, I wanted to prove it to myself. I was like rage baiting myself. I was like, I bet you can't get straight A's in 6 classes, in 6 like level 4 college classes. And I was like, I totally could. And I rage baited myself into doing that.
strong people are given tons of physical tasks, and the smart people are given lots of puzzles. Even that idea would be pretty silly in my opinion. I doubt that having a doctorate degree or being able to do fast math is all that predictive of your ability to solve basic puzzles. But at least then you'd have a case for the show being strong versus smart, right?
You're witnessing the first time in human history the 100 strongest and the 100 smartest have ever been in the same room.
But most of the time, not all, but most, the show doesn't even do that. The strong and fit Chads are constantly rewarded, and rewarded in direct ways. They play dodgeball, they're strong enough to lift blocks over their head and climb a tower. But where is the challenge for the weak chess coach? Bluffing or refusing to bluff? Choosing a rock that you think is light enough that it won't destroy your heart thing? The strong people get to run an obstacle course, which is famously a physical task. The smart people are important too, though, because they can choose who runs the course.
But this isn't all physical. Make sure you use the smart people on your team to strategically choose the best competitors for each round.
Pretty stimulating stuff, I have to admit. You need to have a pretty high IQ to choose who runs the obstacle course. Anyway, this course gets a 4 out of 10 because it's the same as the last game. Now we're on to round 3. So it's the same course, but now each team elects a captain, and that captain has to win their race.
College itself isn't about it is about diligence, somewhat your ability to learn. It really just shows you don't give up when shit gets hard and tedious, and your willingness to learn. Correct. Like I said, I think college, like if you ignore the fact that college is extremely expensive, and you're only looking at like even state colleges, or you're looking at like in a just world where people could go to college for free. That's what I'm saying. College is its goal, in my opinion, from my experience, for most degrees, is not to train you to be smart or to weed out the stupid people. It's literally just to see, are you down to sit there and read a fucking textbook for hours and hours and hours? And even when you're annoyed and you don't want to do it, do you just do it anyways? Okay, great. You would do great in a job. Perfect. Now show up to this job you don't want to show up for and do this shit you don't want to do. Excellent. You were able to figure out how to do these things, and then you were able to get yourself to keep doing them. Perfect. Also, this dumb video also presumes you can't be smart and fit. Correct. Yeah, they act like the strong people are just barely sentient biceps. It's insulting to both groups. I know. It's so insane.
Each team is going to choose a captain you trust to represent your team in a 1v1.
Which is honestly pretty crazy. There's a lengthy sequence where Jimmy Beast asks the contestants if they want to switch teams.
I'm going to give your teammates an opportunity to switch teams. If someone on blue raises their hand, they'll go straight over to white team.
For the record, these teams were made 5 minutes ago for the purpose of running this obstacle course. There's nothing at stake in the teams, and it wouldn't matter at all if one of them did switch teams, but thank God, Nobody does. 3 out of 10. Course 4. Right, so it's the same course and it's basically the same rules as round 1, where if anybody falls into the drink, their whole team loses. Except now, if anybody wants to, they can grab a few $100,000 and bring it to the end of the race. Nobody does this though, of course they don't, and somebody just falls into the water and the race ends. 2 out of 10. Course 5. It's the same course, except now people have batons they can use to launch one another into the water. You'd think that would be kind of fun, but it isn't at all because everyone's really judgy about it.
We're playing a fair game. We're not taking our sticks. We don't want to play like that.
The only guy who pushes anyone into the water is called a villain over and over again.
Ian's a villain. Ian's a villain. You should have just let him through, man. You're real tough. You're real tough.
And that's because Beast Game players hate fun and hate it for good reason, and Mr. Beast refuses to understand this fact and design around it. Anyway, this round gets a 1 out of 10 because it's identical to the other 4 rounds. According to Jimmy Donaldson, Beast Game Season 1 cost more than $100 million.
Is it more than 100 million?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Of course.
I assume that the second season was also...
Oh, sorry. I forgot to mention something. Denims, I don't understand how you got straight A's in AP classes, and as an ADHD person, it makes no sense to me. I wasn't able to do any of that. Not even 10%. Am I just stupid ADHD? No, I just have the same brainworm that all ADHD people have, where you have the subjects and the things you really like, and you can do them vigorously for hours without noticing anything, and then suddenly it's like 8 p.m. and you're starving. And then I had the classes that I hated, that it was like pulling teeth to spend 5 minutes working on those things. And so in those classes, I just like became friends with the teacher. And then did things that were ethical. And by that, I mean, I would do really well for the first exam. And then I'd be like, hey, teach, if you ever need any help with, grading homework or anything, I'll take my stuff, out of the pool. But I can help you grade and stuff. And it worked out because I also didn't really have any friends in any of those classes. So they knew that I wasn't going to be partial to anyone. So then I would do that. And then they would always be like, no, you get straight A's anyways. And then I would stop caring about the class. And then I would stop completely. And then I would just grade my own shit and be like, that's so crazy because I know that I got all those grades correctly. Let me just... All right. Okay. Wow. Look at that. Another A. That's crazy. Totally ethical, of course. The normal stuff that you do when you have ADHD and you have no help with having ADHD. And you're like, why are these subjects so impossible for me to work on? And these ones are so easy. It was actually really fucked up because I would take the AP exams. So like AP French, I don't know any French. I still don't know any French. AP French, I showed up to the exam and I didn't know any French and I was like, what do I do now? But you can't leave. So I was just stuck in that fucking room for like 2 or 3 hours. And I'm like, I got to the short answer and I like literally wrote nothing. I was like, I don't know how to read or write French, so why go? Because I had to go. I just spent the whole semester getting hundreds on all my AP French exams. Okay, well, not exams, but like the AP French classes homework and like quizzes and whatever. So then when I'm sitting there for the exam, I'm like, well, I guess I'll just get a 1. And then and my AP French professor, she was like, what happened? Well, not professor, teacher. She was like, what happened? Oh, what happened? What? I was like, I just get really stressed during taking exams. Haha. Haha. This is what I mean when I say high school's a joke. Like, you can just, and then the other thing too is if you struggle in classes, you can just cheat. Like, there's no punishment for cheating in classes. I guess the teacher gives you a 0 or whatever. In college, there's a punishment. You can get expelled. So there's a strong incentive to never cheat in any of those classes, which I never did in college because, again, I'm sorry. I saw it happen once in one of my accounting classes, and accounting classes are very serious about ethics. And the girl in front of me, there was one exam where the professor got really mad and she's like, I know people in this class cheated. So next exam, we're going to have 5 TAs walking around since you guys like to cheat on your exams. It's clear none of you have paid attention. So I sure hope no one cheats on the next one. And then in the next class, the next exam, they did it again. And this chick got pulled out. And then you can see, it was one of those doors where it's like, there's like a glass window. And then you can see the professor screaming at this girl. So there, you can't hear anything. You can see her being screamed at, and the girl's like crying. And she's like sobbing. She got kicked out of the accounting program, just so you guys know. Because again, you don't cheat in college. You have to take college seriously, and you can get expelled, or you can get at least removed from the program. In high school, it's like you get like a slap on the wrist for cheating. It's like, no cheating on exams. You get a 0 on this one. And then they speak to your parents or whatever. So it's like I'm sorry. It's like that one, not to be a loser. See, this is why teachers trusted me. It was like the one Naruto scene where it's like, no one is expected to pass that test and everyone's cheating to pass the test. Like it's expected to do that. But I was also very ethical, okay? And this is probably why they never removed me. Because kids who didn't pay attention in any of those classes miraculously passed. The tune-in exams, yeah. And that's because, I don't know, it feels like punishment for everyone. You know what I mean? Like the poor kid in class who's doing his best, and he's not disrupting and he's not being an asshole, but he's getting he's like 5 points away from not failing. And if he fails, everybody loses. Now the teacher has to do summer classes for this poor kid, and this poor kid has to go to the summer classes. It's like a lose-lose. It's like, and then you talk to these people who are doing horribly in their classes. It's like, I'm not going to college after this. I'm going to like, I don't know, do trade school, or I'm going to do this or that. It's like, you know what, man? I will be morally gray, and I will save my poor teacher from showing up during summer vacation. And I will save this poor kid who has no interest. And it's like, it's literally 5 points. 5 points. You were the chud helping other chuds. I don't know if I was a chud, but a lot of public schools also get funding depending on large scale performance. Yep. Mm-hmm. That was me. I studied so hard to get C's, and most of my class turned 26. Got my own insurance, started seeing a psychiatrist, went back for my master's, and killed it. Never give up on your dream. True. Your school sounds so weird. Not a single teacher in my high school would let a student help grade things. What the fuck? Like I said, I don't know. I was a nerd with like not really any friends, so so I think, and also again in my classes I would do really well for the first like month or two, and they were just like, yeah, sure, whatever. So yeah, this is the problem with ADHD. It just shows you how to like do your best to game the system on things you have no interest in, and then the things you like, you just do naturally really well. Naturally do really well. You were a chud ass loser. No, I was never a chud, dude. What state did you go to college? New York. Can't be the chud allegations. No, I was hyper woke, okay? The reason why I'm so understanding of like, dare I suggest for a brief moment, incels, is because I get it. I do. I understand briefly, momentarily, what they mean, how they feel. You were a femcel? No. I was just like I think to like the normal brain, it's like, how can you be attracted to 2D women and then not like 3D women? Like, how can you hate women and then love like these like video games or whatever? It's like, oh yeah, I mean, like that was so true. I just like didn't have male friends, and I was like, dude, are we sure men are people? Have we confirmed this scientifically? Are we sure? And then I like made one male friend when I was like, I don't know, late teens and then in college. And I was like, okay, wait. Okay, the debate is over. They are actually people. No, they're people. They're definitely, okay, some of them are for sure people. Okay, maybe not every single one, but some of them are for sure. Okay? So you have to assume all of them. No, I was a hyper woke. I was on Tumblr, bro. Okay? I don't think it was possible to be a chud. I don't think it was ever in the cards for me to be a chud. All right. No, Hyphavancer, no. No. You sick fuck. Oh no. Square Enix is going to open a permanent cafe and shop location in Los Angeles and Shinjuku, Tokyo in 2026. Oh man. Why does Japan think LA is the only city in America? True. Okay, I wanted to take like just a little peek at this one. Why was I invited to Beast Studios? They're confusing chud with virgin. Yeah, I was just a nerd. I was not a chud. I was just a nerd. Chud means more lolcow than pure conservative nowadays, TBH. You know, I kind of agree and disagree, but I do kind of agree that. Sorry, how do we get on this topic? They were talking about the Mr. Beast games, brains versus bronze, and I was saying that like brain doesn't like measuring intelligence is kind of difficult in that personally I think intelligence is measured by your ability to like problem solve and your ability to combine different ideas into something new. And there are a lot of things that we think of as being intelligent but don't actually prove intelligence. Like being like chess coach, it's like, okay, dude. Dude, after Tyler 1 got like, what was it, 1900 or 2K ELO? It's like, dude, come on. Come on. It also incorrectly assumes that you can't have any intelligence and also be strong or the other way around or whatever. It's like, I think constant failure to measure intelligence in other animals shows we do as but at measuring intelligence. Yeah, because again, intelligence is one of those things where it's like, you know it when you see it. You know a smart person when you see one. Tyler 1 is kind of smart. Yeah, but just not in the typical way that we think of intelligence as, right? But in the same way, doing well in school doesn't mean that you're intelligent, right? And not doing well in school doesn't mean that you're stupid. It just means that you don't care about the thing enough. Because if you care, but you're not smart, you'll get good grades. I mean, I knew people who I would not classify as like intelligent. And they studied really hard and they did well in their classes. Because again, it's just one of those things that's like, it's hard to actually measure. Even like the fact that you can study for an IQ test. Doesn't that kind of reduce its ability to accurately measure someone's intelligence? Being good at memorizing things doesn't make someone in my books smart. Just means you spent a lot of time memorizing that thing. It's the same in music. Talent doesn't mean anything if you don't work hard. Correct. Favorite subject? Math. Math. Yeah, every objective measure of intelligence that currently exists is woefully lacking in one way or another. Correct. Correct. It's the same way that like you can't measure someone's health based on one metric. Right? Like blood work alone will not tell you how healthy someone is. Like x-rays alone will not tell you how healthy someone is. BMI alone will not tell you how healthy someone is. They might give you like a small piece of that pie, but like it doesn't tell you more than that necessarily. This is an amazing story. I want to read this in 1 second. When a test becomes a goal, it ceases to be a good test. True. Favorite math class? Stats. I loved AP stats, and then I took stats again in college, and I loved stats the second time as well. When I was a kid, I had to take a ton of tests due to certain behavioral issues. These included IQ tests. At 16, my IQ was measured at 180. I'm a fucking idiot. I do, however, have a very deductive mind. Multiple choice tests are weirdly easy for me. I also got perfect scores on the SAT and ACT exams. Then I dropped out and got a perfect score on my GED. I've been a bouncer for 30 years. Well, again, because it's just one metric of intelligence. Did you guys... Okay, there are very few people I've spoken to about this that understand what I mean and have done this. But when I would take exams that I would cheat on, when I would bring a little cheat sheet with me to the exam room in high school, like I remember I hated history because it was all just memorizing. So I would just like write down the important dates on a little like note, or I'd write it on my arm, and then I would cheat in the class because I just didn't care. Like, oh look, I remembered the exact date that this war happened. What a stupid fucking... What am I gonna do with this stupid information? So anyways, for when I would get to questions where I didn't know what the answer was, I would look for the answer that had the most similarity to all the other answers. And that would usually, in my experience, like 70 or 80% of the time was the correct answer. And I remember when I would explain this to people, they would look at me like I was a crazy person. But do you guys know what I'm talking about? Okay. Some people know what I'm talking about. I would eliminate the wrong answers first. I think it might be easier with math to show you guys. Like, I don't know if this is a good example. Okay, so like basically you go based on what you think would make the least sense. You just process of elimination, right? So like C, I'm not looking at the question. I'm not going to even bother doing the question, so it doesn't matter. I'm just picking a random one. C can't be right? Because it's the only one that's -5 as on the right side of the equal sign, which means it has to be one of these other ones because the rest of them are all 10. Okay, this one is negative, the -10. The other ones are all positive, so you can probably remove the -10 from there as well. So it's probably B, D, or E. And then from these, you can see 4x, 4. Okay, so sometimes 2 and 3 are not enough. Let's see the other metric here. Minus, plus, minus. Okay, this one's also difficult. And then what do we have here? Okay, so then I would probably pick one by random. Although I probably wouldn't pick the one that's -3x, because that one kind of stands out. So I would be between B and E. And admittedly, when you have 5 answers, it's a little bit harder. Now, this doesn't mean it always works, but I would say like 75% of the time, this works. 75% of the time it works. Then you get to college and tricks like this don't work. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Isn't that one just do the math for it and get the answer? Okay, do you want me to pick a different example? I was just using this as an example. I can pick like a different example that isn't math, because with math, you could just do the math. That's not the point that I'm making. Obviously, with math, it's easy. You just do the math. I will try and find a history problem since you guys don't understand what I mean. The fuck is this? Maybe this one? Hold up. Let me find an example of what I'm talking about, and then I'll show you guys what I mean. All right? Then I'll show you guys what I mean.
It is 4:20 a.m. and I am up because I am flying to North Carolina to go tour Mr. Beast's studio for some reason.
Strange things happen to YouTubers all the time. In a sense, it's part of the job to put yourself in the path of weird things. You need an open mind to catch the diamonds in the rough, but it does mean that sorting through my email is often something resembling a trip to an alien petting zoo, a parade of barely identifiable nonsense, and many a thing that you very obviously should not touch. Back in late October, I got an intriguing email. Do you want a most expenses paid trip to tour Mr. Beast's studio and preview Beast Games Season 2 in December? Yes? I mean, yes? Yeah, I do, but why would Team Beast be reaching out to me, of all people? How would I have ever wound up on their radar? Critically, do they know who I am? I needed answers. So this was the question hanging over my head. Why was Team Beast reaching out to me? What was all this? What's actually going on? Actually, even before that, the question was more like, is this even Team...
Okay, guys, I found what I'm trying to explain. Okay, guys, are you ready? This is what I was trying to explain. Okay, and I don't want to hear a single person say, well, I already know the answer to this. If you didn't know the answer to this, okay, that's the point of the idea. Kinetic energy increases with A, mass and distance, B, mass and speed. I don't want to hear anyone talking about what the answer is, or I will get angry. C, speed and distance, D, speed and time. Now, you can use stupid tricks to figure out something that's probably the answer. So like, for example, right off the bat, you can eliminate D because time only shows up in that answer. And none of the other ones have time. So that one can't be the answer. Next, speed shows up 3 times. So it means it can't be the one that doesn't have speed in it, which leaves you between B and C. And then at this point, you have a much better chance at you're like meta testing. You're like metagaming, but for exams. Obviously, we all know that it's mass and speed. But my point is that you can remove these other ones because it's obviously not going to be those ones because of how tests are made. Does that make sense? You guys understand what I mean? I'm too high for this. Because think about it. If you're making a test to get the most people to... that's not... To get people, only the people who know what the answer is, to actually get the answer. Think about how many times you've been in front of an exam and you're trying to figure out the answer and you're like, oh, man. Oh, what was it? It was like mass and what? Which one was it? Fuck, I don't remember. Or you're like, no, I know it was speed. I just don't remember what the other one was. They're going to try and put that in as many of the answers as possible to make sure only the people who know what the answer is actually get the answer, which also means you can like reverse engineer the exams and the answers. So again, you know it can't be D because time only shows up in that one. So it has to be A, B, or C. Speed shows up 3 times, which means it has to be part of the answer. So you can remove A immediately. And then at that point, you're in between B and C. Okay, take a guess. And you're probably going to get it right. Like, more often than not. So, like, which, again, we already know that it's B. So I never thought of it that way. That's what I mean. It's like, I don't know. It's like, there were a lot of exams where I would sit there and I'm like, I don't know the answer to this question. I don't remember the answer to this question. And I feel like I would explain this to people and they would look at me like I was crazy. I was like, but think about how the test is made. If the test was made that way, wouldn't it make sense that it would be like this? Bruh, my dumbass would have picked D because it's different. Denims, did you ever go to the next question to see if it answered a previous question that worked like 50% of the time? Yeah, but that didn't happen. I feel like that happened less and less and less as I got older. You can even do this sort of thing for advanced things like subject GREs, tests written with some kind of logic that you can work out. Correct. It works for a lot of different types. It usually works best when there are 2 or 3 variables and you have to pick the 2 or 3 variables that are correct. And so like you can at least remove the ones that are definitely not correct. Why does this feel like more thinking? Well, if you're in front of an exam and you don't know the answer to the question, what are you supposed to do? If you didn't know what kinetic energy increases with, then what are you supposed to do? The alternative is you just pick a random one and your chance is 25%. And if you're going to be guessing anyways because you don't know, don't you want to improve those chances a little bit? People being like, stats nerd. Have you considered this ultimate strategy? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Nah, I just choose right. Yeah, that increases your chances by 600%. I never ran into a single person in real life that told me that they did this, which was really frustrating. So you can't do that with question 7. Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it only works with certain questions. And obviously questions where there aren't multiple variables, you're just like, you just better know what the answer is for that. So, all right. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you guys for coming with me on this journey. And thank you guys for, finally, I've run into people that like actually have done this before for the first time. I understand it, but I never would have thought of that. I would have a lot of time in some of these exams, bro. I remember in college, I had no idea what the answer was for a finance final exam, so I just drew a finance unicorn and I got partial points. This is how I got my driver's license. That's scary, but but anyways, my point is like, it doesn't make you intelligent to know those test taking tricks. It just means like, and there are some things that like you would figure out on your own, and there are things that you'll never figure out on your own, right? Like, I don't know, go play charades with people or like go play Pictionary and you'll see how quickly people will guess certain things and how slowly they will guess other things. Like, you have certain neural pathways that are stronger or like more well-traveled than other ones, and it's the other way around for other people. I don't understand Twitch or physics. Sorry, my bad. Sorry. One teacher taught me that if you knew the test was written by a human, the odds of them making the answer B or C were higher because we're inclined to hide the answer. That's pretty funny. That's actually really funny. It doesn't work, I assume, for test banks, but anyways, I just wanted to talk about that. So what would you answer on question 8? I don't know. I was just explaining one thing. That's all. Just explaining one thing. Okay, let me close some of these tabs here. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Denims, can we take a test on stream?
I don't like Denims, like, at all, because her camera is so fucking big, and it bothers me.
Gotcha, thank you for the 10 gift subs. Thank you. I beat a grandmaster in chess my first game. You know, I kind of believe that, actually. But Debbins, I need you to watch Wubby give some behind the scenes on the streamer games. Don't say Wubby. Is this guy even a ginger dude? Study psychology. I had one psych class in high school, and then I didn't ever have another psych class after that. Oh my, Anon, what the? Holy, thank you for the 50. Jesus. Oh my God. Wait, what the hell? Hey, you're trying to make me play video games right when I was about to head off. What the? Hey, you can't do that. What the hell? What the helly? Denims gifting herself subs to have an excuse to game, obviously. What the fuck? No, I was about to head off. Fuck. You fucking cheaters. What the hell? I was gonna get off and go play some Winrose, bro. I think that's what it's called. Fine, if we have to, you know, seductively stare at Leon Kennedy and watch me get scared at the same thing over and over again. Okay, Contra, thank you for the 26 gift subs. Anon, thank you for the 50 gift subs. Guys, if you got gifted a sub, say thank you right goddamn fucking now. What the hell? Thank you. Also, guys, huge W in chat. No lagging on stream. What the? My stream didn't break? You guys think it was the dust that I cleaned? You guys think it was the dust? W? The dust cleaning worked? W? What the? All right. Okay. All right. Fine. I've been flanned, bro. I've been flanned. Okay. Well, oh, look at Meerkat. Look how cute. He's being such a good worm. Earworm. Earworm. He's max relaxing. He's max relaxing. Get flan, nerd. All right, fine. Your streamer will game. Okay, thank you guys for tuning into the stream. I hope you guys had a good time. For the Politics Frogs, I will see all of you guys tomorrow. For everybody else, I will see all of you on the gaming stream in like 5 seconds, okay? Let me rate us in. But thank you everybody for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. Stay hydrated. Tell your homies you love them. And I'll see all of you gamers very shortly. Everybody, bye.